ensued. The one injured suspect drove himself to the hospital. Gunfire also shattered the window of the store in a nearby car. No arrests in that shooting have yet been reported. A St. Louis police officer faces domestic assault and first-degree burglary charges, both felonies, after allegedly striking his ex-girlfriend in the face with a phone last week at her apartment in Florissant. Deshaun Sneed, 24, forced his way into the apartment, yelled at the woman, and then struck her in the face, injuring her face and inside her mouth. He then fled the scene. That's all according to Florissant police. Area school districts are estimating that nearly $20 million will be lost in the first year of St. Louis County's new senior freeze on property taxes. The freeze comes as many area school districts are grappling with budget shortfalls due to rising prices, higher health care and staffing costs, and declining enrollments, as well as the end of the COVID relief funds. More than 80,000 senior homeowners in St. Louis County applied, and 70,000 were approved for that freeze. In sports, the Blues battled a bit harder up in Toronto, but sadly the same result. They lost to the Maple Leafs 3-2 in overtime. Hey, at least they picked up a point. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Bach on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We are dry on this Wednesday, but a fair share of clouds around, partly to mostly cloudy, 60. Late night showers tonight, well after midnight, 50. Then we're going into a very wet stretch of weather. Thursday, periods of rain, some storms, 65. Periods of rain Thursday night, 53. And Friday, periods of rain and 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Sneaking up on 5:06, we've got a nice 48 degrees. We do have some light rain in the area, which is making the roadways a little damp, so take your time. Also, don't forget to take the time to go out to that app store and download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. It is a Wednesday morning, and you know there's no better way to start your day off than to come into the studio and find out that your computer is not operational.
It's down.
The computer is not working, and my seat, somebody's messed with my chair, and I'm just, it's a good way to get me off to a bad start this morning.
Like, so you're having a bad start.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know what's going on over here.
Of course, sat in the chair Steve dropped way down.
Moore would say if you were in the studio 5 minutes earlier, that wouldn't happen. So,
well,
that's okay. I was in there editing show prep until 30 seconds ago. That's how we operate around here.
Uh-huh.
Just so you know. Dan Buck, how are you this morning?
I am good. The drive to work was kind of nasty.
Yeah, a little bit of rain out there, but you look on the radar, you don't see it, but it is sprinkling in spots and kind of nasty, and you got to be careful with it for sure. I didn't see any heavy rain. I don't think we have to worry about that.
No, just misty.
Yeah.
Definitely a fall-like morning for sure.
That's the truth. Well, hey, what do you think? Unanimous consent in the Senate to release the Epstein files. The House votes yesterday, 428-1 to release the Epstein files. And now they're just waiting on Trump's signature. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that once again, Donald Trump has played 3D chess here. I may be proven wrong, but I heard a guy say this morning, well, you know, he's a professor. The thing about this is that Donald Trump didn't need anybody's permission to release this. He could have released it any time. And now Congress is going to force his hand. I'm like, or, and this will be controversial, Donald Trump could have released it at any time, at which point, when the stuff comes out about Bill Clinton and some of the other Democrats, they will then claim he released it for political reasons. Now he's got everybody in the House and the Senate demanding that he release it. So when he does release it, whatever's in there everybody's on the hook for it.
Yep. You all asked for it. You got it.
Thank you. You asked for it. You got it. Toyota.
Yes.
Wasn't that a commercial? Well, I'm just saying that's. I think there's more strategy to this than anybody is giving the president credit for. I really do. And if it's true that Donald Trump could have released this stuff anytime, then sleepy Joe Biden could have released it anytime.
Yep.
If there was thought to be damning evidence against Donald Trump in there at a time when the Biden administration and the Democrats were doing everything to keep Donald Trump from getting reelected, you can bet that little nugget would have been released at some point over the past few years. There's just no doubt in my mind.
Even a sliver, even a small indication that Trump was involved, they would have released it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was not. This is a big fat nothing sandwich.
I think he fed him a little bit of misinformation. Well, not misinformation, but he fed him a little bit like, just leave that alone. It's not worth anything.
There's nothing
that got him all riled up. Now
Uh-huh.
they're all demanding it be released, and now he's going to release it to him.
Oh, do you think
And
he
we'll see
really
what's on there.
played them that
I
bad?
would not be surprised. Have you read the Art of the Deal? Have you? I mean, honestly, I would not be surprised. Now, I don't have any idea what's in there. We may all be completely shocked when this stuff eventually comes out, but I don't think so. We've already seen the passenger manifest for the plane. We know who's been there. By the way, did you hear the report? This is interesting. So I'm listening to the news being read here at the top of the hour, and even on Fox, they referred to Larry Summers as the former Harvard president.
Yeah.
Well, Larry Summers wasn't just the former Harvard president. Before he was the president of Harvard, he was Bill Clinton's Treasury Secretary.
That's right.
And then he went back and worked for Barack Obama after that. So he is a major Democrat player in all of this, and he has resigned from public view because he knows what's about to hit the fan here. And I'll bet you Larry Summers was on many of the same plane trips Bill Clinton was.
Oh, you think?
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
So there's just as many Democrats are going to get hammered out of this as, in my opinion, likely to be Donald Trump. Or Republicans. I don't doubt there are both names on there. There are going to be a lot of Hollywood stars on there as well, I would guess.
And a lot of major Democratic donors. I think there'll be obviously Republican donors on there as well. But it's not just the public sector people that I think Epstein was framing, and I think that was his whole game was he used this island and he used many of his sexual escapades to basically corner a lot of these people to do nefarious things, and namely pay him money, pay him lots of money.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I think
to get access. I mean, he was basically blackmailing people to get them to invest with him, and then for the ones that were just freaks, he was offering them the perk of going to his island, and he had God knows how much stuff on all kinds of powerful people. He was using it to enrich himself.
Absolutely.
But he's dead.
Yeah. But I do think if they're going to release it, it's going to be across all gamuts. It's going to be corporate. So it's going to be Hollywood. It's going to be political figures. The list will be long if and when they get the list.
I'm waiting for Trump to come out and say, here's the list, by the way. You wanted it. Department of Justice is going to release it. Go to page 238, and you're going to open that up, and it's going to show that Donald Trump was an FBI informant informing on Epstein. Mark my words, that's going to be in there somewhere.
Really?
I think he was one of the people that led authorities to the initial, because he talked about yesterday, I played the bite with you about what a horrible place that Epstein Island was. And he ran Epstein away from his Mar-a-Lago because he was recruiting young girls down there.
Yep.
And I would not at all be surprised to find out Trump didn't have something to do with Epstein getting in trouble in the first place. No, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised. And then the Democrats are really going to have egg on their face. And there's another reason Bill Clinton's refusing all these subpoena requests to Clinton, as they've tried to. Jamie Comer's committee has tried to subpoena the Clintons, and the Clintons have ignored all of the subpoena requests. And he said, "I'll tell you what. Remember what you did to Bannon, Steve Bannon?
Yep.
I'll do that to you if you don't come in and testify in front of my committee." So we'll see what happens next. Bannon served jail time
Of course
for
he did.
contempt, remember?
Yep. Because he wouldn't go and testify, right?
You think it's possible we ever see Hillary Clinton in an orange jumpsuit?
God, would that just not be a dream? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It would become my new Facebook page. It would be like I'd just put it everywhere. Her in an orange suit.
Just the mugshot. They got
mugshot.
Just because they did it to Trump, they're going to have to release her
A
mugshot.
Hillary perp walk. How awesome would that be?
Well, somebody'd have to be holding her up from all we've seen, right? I'm just saying it's possible. All right, we got a great show for you today. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and get to the short list here, but all this talk about it, the hemp bill that got passed along with the CR, and it's going to, in 1 year, it's going to ban unregulated use of hemp. And, I'm kind of thinking in my brain, this is just going to stop young kids from being able to walk into a convenience store and buy this Delta 8 or 9 or whatever they were calling it. But it is much more extensive than that, and it's going to cost a lot of jobs in a lot of different states where there are legitimate businesses using it and selling it to adults. Now, I'm not a THC user myself, but it was eye-opening when I found some of this out. And we're going to have a guy on in the 8 o'clock hour today from Union, Missouri, who runs his own business, legitimate business that caters to adults. And this will, a year from now, put him out of business unless some parts of that law that passed are changed and used to restrict it from younger people getting their hands on it. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to get Brian Riegel on here a little later in the 8 o'clock hour to explain all of that, because it's, as you can imagine, it's complicated.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him in the 8 o'clock hour. Right now, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and get to the break, because I went a little long there with my Clinton diatribe, and we'll get to the top stories when we come back right after our national anthem, please.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. We are looking good on the roads. We've got light traffic out there. Now, I did not see any rain this morning, but some people did out west. So bear that in mind, but mostly we look great and it's dry. Quiet through North County, looking good. Eastbound 64 from out west into downtown. Quiet on the bridges and on the Illinois side in general. I do notice a little bit of moderate volume eastbound 70 at Forestel, but that's all due to road work. For the most part, we're in great shape. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What are you thinking about one of these days? Toes in the sand. I was looking at, Facebook. Facebook is good and bad. I just have to say that because sometimes you get pretty jealous. You look at a friend who maybe planned a little bit better than you did. They're your age, but they're already down in Florida with their toes in the sand and taking rides on boats and fishing. And here you are still slaving away. Whatever retirement looks like for you, the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group can help you get there and protect whatever it is that you have collected over the years in your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, whatever it happens to be. When you hit 59 and a half, that's a key point in your life. And they'll talk to you about that because you can roll that stuff over penalty free from a 401k, and you can protect it. And that's what you'll find out from Bob Kershaw and Tammy Kershaw and Thomas Helbig over at the Retirement Advisory Group. That's all they do. They've been doing it for 38 years. It's not brain surgery. They'll explain to you what they do, and they'd love to help you out if they can. They make your own personalized, structured income plan and protect what you have headed into retirement so you can pay for those dreams. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Online, you can schedule right there at retirementkey.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Because the Democrats had every one of the Epstein files in their possession for the 4 long years of the Biden administration. The Biden Department of Justice had the files the entire time. And not a single one of the people who are so loud and animated right now, they never said anything about it for all those 4 years.
Has anyone ever explained that to you? Has anyone ever explained why it was exactly that Sleepy Joe Biden and Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and all of these Democrats that are now screaming, release the files, release the files, didn't say a thing during the 4 years that apparently with a stroke of his auto pen, Joe Biden could have released these files for 4 straight years and never did. Not a word.
You had Jeffrey Epstein, who literally set up an island of rape, a rape island. And you had rich and powerful men, some of the richest people in the world, who thought that they could hang out with bankers, buy off politicians, and abuse and rape America's girls with no consequence.
Ro Khanna, that information is like 15 years old. I'm waiting for the breaking news here. We know what he was doing. The question is, You're only hoping, all of your hopes here are focused on the fact that you hope Donald Trump was somehow involved. And so far, there is zero evidence of that, but a lot of evidence that people with the last name of Clinton might have been.
I can safely say that I will not be the Fed chair. I think President Trump will make a great Fed chair. He has an open mind. He understands monetary policy better than a lot of people.
Scott Bessent. Could you imagine?
No, I can't.
Oh, my God.
But
I don't think he could appoint himself Fed chair and president, could he?
No, but JD could.
Oh, yeah, he could, couldn't he?
Yes, he could.
Would you serve as Fed chair, Mr. President?
Would you mind? Just clean up our monetary funds?
Oh, my goodness. That would be revolutionary. Can I just tell you that?
He would doge it.
But New York City, I plan on being in New York City in the near future. We're going to do operations in New York City. We know in New York City, me and Mayor Adams at one point had an agreement to let ICE into Rikers Island so we can arrest the public safety threats and the safety and security of that facility, but the city council shut it down.
Yep, Tom Homan, we're going in. We don't care if it's a blue city or a red city. We're going to do the law enforcement job of the federal government. Good for you. Speaking of which, have you seen the video yet or heard the audio? I'll have it here for you soon of all these Democrats in the Senate, Mark Kelly and a bunch of others calling for the U.S. military to ignore direct orders if they're ordered to go into a city and arrest someone. Like they want National Guard members to ignore orders if they're called up to go into Charlotte or one of these other places. You have U.S. senators calling for insurrection on the part of United States troops. It's obnoxious is what it is. The lie that they're willing to say or do anything to get back into power. That's what the left is in this country. That's what we're facing right now.
Yeah, encouraging people to commit a felony of AWOL. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely despicable is a better word. That any United States sitting congressman or senator would encourage military people not to perform the call of duty from the commander-in-chief and their higher up and their higher ups.
Inherent in their hidden in their claim is the insinuation that somehow these troops are doing something wrong to American citizens. But pay attention here. In none of these cases where the National Guard's been called up, have they been involved in any law enforcement activity?
No.
None. Not arresting anybody, not pepper spraying anybody. Those have always been law enforcement folks doing that. They're there for one reason, and that's to protect federal employees. ICE employees, in some cases, people who are in the custody of ICE. They were a couple of the ones that got shot down in Texas.
Yeah, federal buildings as well, keeping them from burning down FBI facilities as they've done in the past. So, yeah, they have every right. Federal facilities and federal officers have every right to be protected by our National Guard.
But that the Democrats can't have that. What they need to do is sow chaos, which is obviously what they're trying to do in Charlotte when you've got the governor of North Carolina. We had him on yesterday, Josh something, coming out and claiming that they're ICE officers are randomly driving down the street and grabbing people who happen to have the wrong skin color, but they're U.S. citizens and they're wrongfully arrested. And I mean, seriously.
Well, a friend of mine who's a police officer said, understand that when police raids are happening, and he's talking about his particular drug raids, things like that, he says we often have to clear an entire building.
Of course.
And we have to and it's for their protection. Because you don't know when you're going in for a gang member, you don't know what's going to result as a part of that. So they'll clear an entire, families, children, and they'll detain them. They'll keep them safely held back.
And if you're not doing anything wrong, you let go.
And he said, right. He says, we've cleared entire apartment complexes before we'll kick a door in and raid a place that we know. We'll get everybody out and we'll put them either in a bus or detain them momentarily until we can let them back in safely, because gunfire often erupts in these situations.
I'm waiting for the butt monkeys to say, but that violates our rights and blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't. They're protecting you. They're getting the bad elements out of your building, right?
Well, they're also doing what they're protecting public safety. Let me tell you, when I was taken by ambulance to Barnes Hospital 2 weeks ago, I'm on a stretcher. When they got me out of the ambulance to take me into Barnes, I had to stop at the security checkpoint where they waved a wand over to me to make sure I wasn't carrying a weapon before they let me into the emergency room. And I was on the stretcher. I was the victim.
Wow.
That's what they have to do at Barnes Hospital down here because they have so many gang-related gunshot.
Unsafe it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
right.
That's
so
incredible.
Were my rights violated when they did that? I don't know. I don't know where her hands went. I'm not saying anything.
Illegal search?
I don't know. All right, coming up, we'll get to Dan's segment. Stand by. We'll be back in a minute.
Tired of mice? Point Pest Control finds their entry points, eliminates the infestation, and seals them out for good with our exclusion services. Mention Annie to get 10% off on top of any other special. Call 636-798-0023. Visit pointwithane.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Why in the world would you pay 30% interest on credit cards when you can pay off that debt with a cash-out refinance from Golden Oak Lending? Home values are at an all-time high, and now with this 4.5% fixed rate, you can save a lot more money. Call Golden Oak, access that home equity that you were entitled to, and they'll help you. 314-567-GOLD. They're saving the average cash-out customer $1,100 a month. Of course, that 4.5% also applies if you're buying a new home. You call Golden Oak, tell them what you're about to buy. They're going to pre-approve you. They're going to get you in the system. That's how it works. They're excellent at what they do. I'm a satisfied customer of Golden Oak Lending. So call them today at 314-567-GOLD. Go online at goldenoaklending.com. That's a 5.442 APR, 15-year fixed mortgage, 20% equity with qualified credit. Their NMLS number is 114937.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Chip maker NVIDIA reports earnings today. Expectations are high, and tech stocks have been selling off recently with concerns that prices are too high. But Michael Lee of Michael Lee Strategy remains optimistic.
I would say that there's a tremendous amount of upside. We are so far from over in AI, and if you're talking about a bubble, it's probably not a bubble.
Also reporting earnings today, retailer Target, home improvement chain Lowe's, Viking Holdings, the cruise company, and Williams-Sonoma. Housing numbers come out today, new residential construction numbers for October. Also expected today, the Philly Fed's manufacturing update and minutes from the Fed's October meeting. Business news twice an hour on Fox News Headlines 24/7. I'm Jeannie Fusola.
I'm alpine skier Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races in history. But what does success mean to me? Success means discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us, and it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management firms in the country. If you're looking for success, surround yourself with the people who will get you there. If you're an advisor or investor, choose Stifel, where success meets success.
Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decision.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. We look good in traffic. We look great on the roads. Just light volume out there this morning, at least at this hour. Eastbound 70 a little slow in the construction zone near Forestdale. But other than that, we're good. 55 looks good. We're quiet through North County and looking good on the Illinois side in general. If something comes up, I'll let you know. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
All right, Michael's Flooring Outlet, fantastic spot for you to go because, listen, it's like when you go and get your dinner and you want to make sure that it's served to you when you want it, right, quickly. And at Michael's Flooring Outlet, their promise to you is if we have the flooring you want in stock, we might get it installed the next day. Of course, that depends on scheduling, yours, theirs, all that stuff. But that's fantastic. That's taking customer service to the next level because let's say you go shopping today and you want to get that stuff in before Thanksgiving. That's next week. You have a good possibility of being able to get that accomplished or before the holidays. You pick, and they'll get it installed. They are always great about following up afterwards to make sure that you're happy. Mohawk is one of the big companies in lines of carpeting and flooring that they carry. The Revwood Select, one of my favorite products. It's the waterproof flooring that looks just like rich, thick hardwood, and you go there and they'll show it to you. It's got a waterproof warranty, an all-pet warranty. Go ask them about that and tell them you heard Mark Cox talking about it. St. Charles County, 2 locations, Old Town St. Peters and Dardine Prairie. They're in St. Louis County off of Olive west of 270 or online anytime at igotfloor.com.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Navigating healthcare can be tricky, but you don't have to do it alone. The Navigator Project is here to help Missourians every step of the way. We provide free, personalized assistance with enrollment in the healthcare marketplace. We'll guide you through your options, help find the right plan, and get the coverage you need. Go to ma4web.org and select the Services tab to find a navigator. Brought to you by the Missouri Association of Area Agencies on Aging.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. But don't give a f.
It is our Warrior Women Wednesday, and I'm going back into the well of great women that I have featured on this segment because this gal just nailed it. I saw her come across my feed yesterday. I go, I wonder what April's up to. Her name's April Chapman, and you may recall her. I featured her about 3 weeks ago. She's smart. She's funny. She's always on point. She's a Christian podcaster. And today segment, it just jumped into an issue that's been bothering me the last few months. What the heck has happened to Candace Owens?
I don't know. She has gone pretty far off the reservation.
Yeah, well, clearly, exactly. Yeah. She's become anti-Trump. She's become really everything that she used to stand for. Even recently, she went after TPUSA for talking about faith too much. Did you hear her go off on TPUSA?
I did hear a little bit of that.
Yeah. Well, April
but
Chapman.
more than that is her, her stuff about the Charlie Kirk murder and who was really behind it and all that. She's really.
I mean, dude, she's
way out there.
Something's going on. Well, April Chapman, who is also a Black American female conservative and has a talk show called Unshakable. It's really good if you haven't tuned into her yet. But anyway, she breaks down exactly why she believes Candace Owens seems to be extremely lost these days. Check this out.
Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, shall we? Because apparently Candace Owens has once again, she has emerged from the Valley of Dry Bones with a hot take that nobody asked for. And to be honest, I did not see this one coming. This time, she is accusing Turning Point USA of talking too much about faith, as if mentioning Jesus 3 times at an event is some kind of theological felony. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. So allow me, your friendly neighbor, truth teller, let me just go ahead and say it. I don't know how much more plain I can make it, but Candace Owens is not a Christian, period. Full stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
She is not. She is not born from above. The things of the Spirit are foolishness to her. So, of course, since that is the positional state of her soul based on her public actions and her words, so of course she's going to be allergic to a faith-based conversation. Of course, she hears scripture and starts itching. Of course, she's going to recoil every time someone mentions Christ, like a vampire who sees sunlight.
Ouch.
She does this because spiritual things irritate unregenerate hearts.
Wow. That's laying it out there.
I'd say so.
April pretty much calls her out saying, you can't go after TPUSA. That, oh, by the way, was founded by a man who was deep in his faith, and so much of what Turning Point is about was about his relationship to Christ and getting more people to come to Christ. So, I mean, she's spot on. For her to go after Turning Point, saying they need to stay more on point with politics and conservative values, and they don't need to bring Jesus into everything. It turns people off, which was what Candace basically said. It doesn't turn people off. It's the foundational principles of our nation that this country was built upon, and Christianity is what we need to return to. That was what Charlie constantly was promoting, and for Turning Point USA to continue that is not just appropriate, it is the foundation of what TPUSA is all about. So kudos to April Chapman. If you want to learn more about her, just look up Unshakable April Chapman. She's got podcasts. She's everywhere. She's LinkedIn. She's X. She's on Facebook.
So she's a podcaster. She's not on a radio show somewhere?
No, not that I can find. She really just does her own thing and has a lot of followers. Not a ton, like 100,000 here, 300,000 there. But she is. I love the way she cuts up her podcast too. She'll give you those minute-and-a-half snippets like you just heard. You don't have to listen to the whole show to kind of get what her message is. But she's a fighter. I love her. That's why she's my Warrior Wednesday woman for this week.
Good for her. And I'm glad she's out there. I wonder what your take is on some of the more outrageous things Candace Owens has hinted at here regarding the Charlie Kirk case. She really seems to.
Well, she thinks
Israel.
If
I read it correctly,
right?
Yeah, she thinks Israel played some role in it. And if I read it correctly, she's not a big fan of Erica Kirk.
No.
I don't understand that. I mean,
no, she doesn't trust
give the
her.
woman some time to grieve, for goodness sake.
Well, but the theory she's thrown out there and shown videos of an alternative person who shot him with a flower on his vest, or just some of the wacky ideas that she have. I mean, how much more evidence do you need than a guy running off a thing, throwing his bag down, running, with it, hiding his gun? I mean, the evidence seems pretty overwhelming that this guy was the shooter. I mean,
her suggestion is this isn't even the guy that pulled the trigger?
No. Oh, yeah. She thinks there's an alternative gunman.
Okay.
That there was actually different angles. And, I mean, she's been off the reservation on this, several other issues in the past several months that you just go, where did that come from?
And here's the thing. What the left wants to do is tear down whatever they perceive to be MAGA. And in their mind, MAGA is anybody that disagrees with them. So when you have people who've been on the same side of a lot of pro-Trump issues, like her, like Tucker, like others, who then disagree on some issue, the left media in this country immediately takes up the lying headline, MAGA is in disarray. The MAGA base is falling apart because you have disagreements. In this party, more than any other, certainly more than the Democrats, you're allowed to have a different point of view. In the Democratic Party, you're going to get shipped out the door if you disagree with their policies on men and women's bathrooms or any of that. They don't want anything to do with you anymore. And I think you're far more likely to get debate within the party on the right than you ever were on the left. They don't allow it.
And I will say this. I totally agree with you that I think people in the party in general do accept opposing viewpoints, including, I'm always open to listening to liberal viewpoints. I don't think the right is nearly as judgmental, as hateful as the left can be. However, I do I do get frustrated with Donald Trump's intolerance for opposing viewpoints. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has also been one who's, kind of left the Trump camp on certain issues, but
kind of been booted.
Well, yeah, but then for him to just come out and say,
attack. Well, it's how he operates,
right? But it's not how the party in general operates.
No,
I think
would agree with that.
I think the party itself is more open to ideas and debate and having discussions about major issues. And kudos to the Republicans for still having that willingness to hear opposing viewpoints. But I do think Trump could be a little more tolerant. I mean, people aren't always going to 100% agree with him, and he needs to just let it go sometimes. She's a voice in the wilderness right now. She's not getting a lot of traction, and a lot of it was around Epstein. Right?
I think he's been better at it in this second term, and I think it's got something to do with Susie Wiles, his chief of staff. But I think sometimes even she has trouble reining him in on some of those things.
Yeah.
The nicknames. I mean, he hasn't done that as much this time, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, that didn't take too long.
Yeah.
And everybody who's opposed him like that he's assigned a nickname to, loses whatever that issue is they're debating. I don't know. I don't know what his track record has to be 90 or 100% on those issues. If he's fighting with a party member over it.
Yeah. Oh, he wins most of the time. Yeah, because
you may not be comfortable with how he wins, but he wins. And if I'm going into battle and I've got a general who has some unusual approaches to war, but they're effective, at the end of the day, he's there to win, not to make everybody happy.
And I will say this, the Ted Cruz move the other day, while Trump didn't like, do not come out too early on this 2028 presidential election, because he will bury you.
But I don't think that was Cruz who did it. I think it was Axios or one of these news organizations came out and claimed that he hadn't ruled out a 2028 run. There's a big difference between not ruling it out if you're asked that question in an interview and saying you're running in 2028.
Did you see how annoyed Trump was by that question?
I'm not surprised.
And I just think he does not want to be a lame duck president. He knows he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
He does not want to talk about 2028 until probably 2027, right? Between now and then, he's got a lot to get done, and he was annoyed by the question. And I will tell you, if you are in this party and you have any presidential hope whatsoever, you better not be talking about the 2028 election around Donald Trump, or I think he'll alienate him
before the midterm. Yeah, I would agree. That's why J.D. Vance walked that line expertly with who was it? Was it Brett Baer that he sat down with the other day?
And he said, we got a lot of work to do between now and then.
Yeah.
And didn't even address the opportunity of running for president in 3 years. So I just think that's one of many things that Trump gets annoyed about. But the last thing in the world he wants to be seen as is a lame duck president.
Boy, that is absolutely the truth. Well, I've been recovering from this injury, Dan.
Yep.
And in many ways, I think I was. It was a curse and a blessing at the same time, because I survived it. Now I'm feeling much better than I was 2 weeks ago, obviously, when I first came back in here. And then I saw this story, what happened to this other dude that broke his ribs, and I realized just how lucky I really am. We're going to talk about that a little more when we come back. Stay tuned.
You were lucky.
Yeah.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. We still look great on the roads. In fact, the only real volume I'm seeing is eastbound 70 approaching Forestell. We've got road work going on out there. We are looking good, though. Eastbound 70, Wentzville into downtown. 6440 looks good. 55 is in good shape, and that's from down south into the city. Quiet on the Illinois side and on the bridges downtown. Off to a good start. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Yeah, Victory Men's Health. I'm going to go ahead and give them a little bit of credit for the fact that I am feeling as good as I feel after this accident, because I've been going there for 8 years now, I think. Victory Men's Health is fantastic. They help you when it comes, as you age, when it comes to recovering from injuries and maybe not the results you want in the gym and all of that stuff, because they do regular blood panels with me looking at what's missing. what's going on in your body. Are you short on magnesium? Do you need vitamin D? What is it that's going on? Do you need testosterone? All of these things are important. They work on this at Victory Men's Health, and I would highly suggest that you reach out to them. If you're a guy of a certain age and you've noticed yourself slowing down a little bit, you don't have to. Victory Men's Health can help with all of that. They have great locations in O'Fallon, Illinois. They're on Greenmount Road. In O'Fallon, Missouri, near Wing Haven. They're in Town and Country at basically Clayton and 141. And the newest store is down in Sunset Hills there near Lindbergh and Watson. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. Make that initial appointment today. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event, the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Cutting through the spin. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
All right, welcome back. For those of you who listen regularly, you know what happened to me with my clumsiness. Out hunting, was duck hunting, stepped into a duck blind because I was all puckered because a duck was flying by, and I stepped forward to shoot at it and forgot there was a hole in front of me, and I fell into a duck blind, right? So broke 6 ribs. And I have recovered much better than I thought I would have to this point. Now, that said, I sneezed earlier this morning and wanted to go to the bathroom in my pants. It still hurts. Don't get me wrong, but I'm able to function. Like I can bathe, I can get dressed, I can drive, I can do all the regular things. I just have to be gentle with the left side of my body, right? And I feel like somebody's looking over me because I could have gotten much more seriously injured. I didn't puncture a lung. I didn't do anything. Then I see this story of this poor dude over in Illinois named John Davis in Nashville, Illinois.
Okay.
See this story? News Channel 5 covered it. This guy was on a ladder, and when he fell off this ladder, he fell onto a pole. that went through his right shoulder and into the left side of his neck, and he broke 7 ribs in addition to that.
No.
And survived it.
No.
He's in the hospital right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What kind of pole penetrated him like that?
I don't know. He's been in the ICU at St. Louis University Hospital since it happened. Doctors told the family he has 7 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and the road to recovery is going to be weeks and weeks and weeks. He was at a barn collecting 10 when the ground gave way and caused a ladder to sink into the soil. The lady that was with him saw him fall. When she went over to pick him up, he was like, "It's in me." And she didn't understand what he said. And then she got a look at his face and could see this thing bulging through his neck.
Oh, no.
I know.
Too early for this story.
Too early.
No. Listen, I'm a lucky man. She called 911. He's in the hospital. He's been dealing with it with his humor, apparently. And They say that he's not out of the woods yet. He's still got he's running a fever, that he's on oxygen, but they're hopeful. And the family has started a donation, I guess a GoFundMe page or something, to try to raise money because of health insurance. Because the company has health insurance, but the helicopter ride will not be covered. They had to take him by helicopter to SLU. He's 45, I think. That's what it says here.
Man,
I mean, 45.
Nashville's way out there by like Effingham somewhere. I mean, it's a long ways to get to
I'm sure, which is probably why they had to bring him in by
Yeah.
helicopter, but I'm sure that was expensive. I haven't even started to get my hospital bills yet for 3 days in the step-down unit from ICU. I can't imagine what this guy's bills are going to look like. So that story's on Snooze Channel 5 if you want to go in there and look for it, about the man recovering from that fall, and they're trying to collect money to help his family out there in Nashville. Good luck, brother. I don't feel all your pain, thank God, but I certainly feel a little bit of it with the broken ribs.
And we've talked in the past how lucky you were that you only hit in your rib cage area. I mean, had you hit a head, could have had neck injuries, spinal issues, head trauma. I mean, there were so many other things that could have happened when falling 6 feet from the roof of a duck blind, dude. I'm telling you. Especially a metal bar that didn't give an inch. Right?
I know.
It could have been devastating.
That extra couple inches of fat, that padding, I think that's what saved me.
That's
I got to tell you.
That's what saved you. You had years of preparation for that
Eat
fall.
an extra donut this morning, because I think that might have been what saved me.
Honey, I've been preparing for this moment my whole life. For the last 10 years of putting on weight. Look at me.
I didn't
knew
blame
it
the
was
beer.
coming.
I didn't blame the beer. I blamed the donut.
Didn't
How about
blame. You thanked the beer. You thanked the donut.
So just a quick reminder, the Respond to Rescue ATF raffle is still going. We're trying to get more donations. All the money goes to Respond to Rescue, great organization. Here's how we've sweetened the pot. Get on there and donate today. The person that donates the most overall. Now, if it's a tie, we're going to flip a coin. But the person that donates the most is going to also, whether they win a prize or not, they're going to get a dinner with me and Tony Twist. Blues great Tony Twist has agreed to do this to help out Respond to Rescue, and he's just a great human being, so we're glad to get the Twister involved in all of this. So you might get a dinner with me and Tony Twist and the folks from Respond to Rescue, whether you win a prize or not, but 3 great prizes. Text to Responder to 33100 right now. It's really easy. If you share it on social media, you get extra bonus tickets. If your friends buy tickets from your link, they get extra bonus tickets. We're trying to make this as easy as humanly possible, and I'm down to 1 week. Next Wednesday is the drawing, so please, please, please buy some tickets today. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes.
Even the tricky ones.
We treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat?
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Support our first responders at the 38th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses, presented by Stiefel, Thanksgiving Eve at Enterprise Center. Go to gunsandhoses.com to get your tickets today. The best holiday party in St. Louis. It's go time.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
President Trump could sign the Epstein Files resolution as soon as today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
This isn't a Democrat, it isn't a Republican issue. This is an American integrity issue of bringing to light what it was a massive cover-up.
That's what GOP Congressman Ralph Norman just told Fox the morning after the House approved the resolution compelling the Justice Department to release files from the investigation into the late Jeffrey Epstein's underage girl sex trafficking. Now, this morning it goes to the Senate, which already approved it by unanimous consent. Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says,
we have to make sure that all of the documents are released, that there are no games, that we know there's a corrupt Justice Department.
Now, the president says he'll sign it after initially opposing the resolution as a hoax, adding he had nothing to do with Epstein, but some Democrats did.
They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did.
Now, the president said that sitting next to the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
Designating Saudi Arabia as a major non-NATO ally.
Approving a Saudi purchase of American fighter jets. And today the two will meet with business leaders, with the Saudis planning to invest as much as $1 trillion into the U.S. Hours before Ukraine's president went to Turkey trying to build more support to stop Russia's war. A deadly Russian barrage of drones and missiles. That's in Kharkiv. In another city, apartment buildings were hit, killing at least 19 people, 66 others injured. Texas's Republican Governor Greg Abbott plans to take his state's congressional redistricting aimed at giving the GOP more seats in the House to the Supreme Court, calling a decision by a panel of federal judges to block it absurd. Fox's Aisha Hasni reports.
Judge Jeffrey Brown, who actually was nominated by President Trump, authored this decision and said that the new maps would harm Black and Hispanic voters. The Texas redrawing set off a nationwide redistricting battle, with California passing a ballot measure to give Democrats more seats.
Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom posted on X that President Trump and Governor Abbott played with fire and got burned. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 6:03, and we've got 48 degrees and some light rain throughout St. Louis. An argument outside of a Jennings Dollar General store yesterday escalated to dozens of shots being fired. One man wounded in the gunfire. St. Louis County Police said around 4:30 Tuesday, officers responded to 6400 block of West Florissant Avenue, where two individuals had been arguing when one man retrieved a gun and a shootout ensued. The one injured suspect drove himself to the hospital. Gunfire also shattered windows of the store. No arrests in the shooting have been reported. A St. Louis police officer faces a domestic assault and first-degree burglary charge, both felonies, after allegedly striking his ex-girlfriend in the face with his phone last week at her apartment in Florissant. Dashawn Sneed, 24-year-old police officer, forced his way into the apartment, yelled at the woman, and then struck her, and then he fled the scene. That's according to Florissant Police Department. Area school districts are estimated that nearly $20 million will be lost in the first year of St. Louis County's new senior freeze on property taxes. The freeze comes as many area schools are already grappling with budget shortfalls. They say that are caused by supply prices, higher healthcare and staffing costs, and a declining enrollment. More than 80,000 senior homeowners applied for the freeze, and 70,500 were approved. In sports, the Blues battled a bit harder last night in Toronto. Sadly, the same result. They lost to the Maple Leafs 3-2 in overtime. They gave up a shorthanded goal just 4 minutes into the extra period. It was the Blues' fourth game in a row without a win. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We still look good on the roads this morning. If you're just headed out, now is the time. Light traffic in general, and we're even looking good eastbound 70 in the Forestel area. Northbound 55 in great shape, quiet on the Illinois side. Looking good on the bridges over there as well. So yes, so far so good this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is giving veterans and active military 10% off all month. That's 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We are dry on this Wednesday, but a fair share of clouds around, partly to mostly cloudy 60. Late night showers tonight, well after midnight 50. Then we're going into a very wet stretch of weather. Thursday, periods of rain, some storms, 65. Periods of rain Thursday night, 53. And Friday, periods of rain and 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. We do have a little light scattered rain with 48 degrees. Don't forget, you can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anytime, anywhere you go. It's as simple as going out to the App Store and downloading that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, how are you this morning? It's a Wednesday. We're happy you are here with us. Of course, the 19th day of the month of November. Things are rolling along here. We've got Dan Buck in here with me this morning. We've got Kim St. Ange is due back next Monday, which means Dan's in his last couple days here with us, and we've appreciated your help, my friend.
And it has been a journey. I've learned how to get up again at 3:30 in the morning. Hadn't done that for years.
Yep.
But no, it's been awesome. You guys welcomed me. You made it fun, and I'll miss you, but I'll still be on the fill-in role. So
yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
and helping out. Maybe we're going to get Dan on and continue the Buck segments here, maybe once a week, and just kind of keep you involved if you don't mind. That would be fantastic.
Love it.
And I texted Kim. I finally heard back from her yesterday. I guess she's sleeping in, and she says, well, I'm trying to spend as much time as I can with my boys, but not looking forward to that alarm clock changing next Monday.
No kidding. It's got to be a lot of work, and you're not getting a lot of sleep anyway with the newborns.
So I know.
I know.
Hopefully Hudson's giving her a little bit of a break at this point.
Yeah, and hopefully getting some nap time when he naps. That's for sure.
No kidding. All right, we got lots of stuff still to get to for you this morning, and we've got Dom Savino in this. We don't know if we have Dom. Do we have Dom for sure, or do we think we have Nicole back this morning?
No, I heard Dom this morning, so I'm pretty sure he's still on.
Nicole's trip to the Philippines or wherever she went is still continuing, and I can't wait to hear about that ordeal when she gets back. Next hour, we're going to talk to Evan Brown. Remember the internet outage yesterday? Something broke. And it affected so many different people in different industries across the country. Makes you wonder, do we have all of our eggs in one basket? Evan is reporting on that. We're going to get to him live at the top of the next hour. We're going to do our Guns and Hoses giveaway. We got more tickets to give away today. And a little later, we're going to talk about the changes to hemp regulations that was included in that bill that was just passed, the continuing resolution. Somebody threw a thing in there for the agriculture department that would basically ban the unregulated hemp industry right now, which and a lot of law enforcement officers wanted some changes because they felt that children, your underage children, could go to convenience stores and other places in some cases and buy this Delta 8, which has some level of THC in it. Obviously, it's not going to be as strong as what you would go if you went to a dispensary and buy or grew in your backyard, but it still has an intoxicant in it, and it was largely unregulated, they felt, and they wanted it to be clamped down. Well, basically what they did was they shut it all down.
Yeah, well,
if I understand it correctly, what they did
up to
in
a
this bill.
certain level, you can't have more than 0.4 in any drink, gummy, whatever, in the THC. So they basically just really lowered that threshold. So most of the THC products are going to be in well above that. So you got to reformulate, lower those content levels. But the hemp industry was basically just outspent by the marijuana industry. The dispensaries, and that's why the Democrats pushed so hard to get this into that bill. That was one of the compromises in the negotiation to reopen the government was you've got to put this in there because the marijuana lobby group was so strong in the Democratic Party, they forced the hand. They don't want this hemp world to exist. They want everybody to have to come through their dispensaries and come through that.
And I never realized that till I started looking into this a little more. Dan brought it up to me, and last night I was having a drink with a friend who pointed out that a friend of his has a dispensary license and is not making nearly as much money as he assumed he would make getting into that business. I don't know where the downward pressure is there. I mean, I see a pretty steady flow of traffic as I drive by these dispensaries. I certainly smell the skunk weed when I'm driving around. So it's either homegrown or somebody's selling it. I don't know who's making money off of it. What I didn't realize is that the hemp industry and the licensed marijuana industry do not get along.
Not at all.
Generally speaking, although they may make strange bedfellows in this case trying to get these hemp regulations changed. So we're going to talk more about that in the 8 o'clock hour. I've got a local business owner from Union who is in the business of making drinks that have some level of THC in them. And this bill would basically, I believe, put him out of business a year from now. He doesn't sell it to teenagers. It's an adult drink. but it's one of those things at risk of being affected here. So we're going to talk to him coming up at about 8:20 today. Stay tuned for that, please. All right, right now, Ethan, let's get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news.
Fake
ABC
news.
fake news. One of the worst. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. I have nothing to do with a family business. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful.
Amen.
So are you enriching yourself at all off of business contracts with Saudi Arabia?
And his family has every right in the world to do business anywhere in the world that they wish to do business. Let's just end it there. The Trump dynasty and the Trump business has been along long before this man became president. He's supposed to just give it all up and shut it all down. I mean, people are ignorant. I mean,
where was her journalistic intrigue when Hunter Biden was flying around the world collecting millions, and he wasn't even a licensed foreign agent at the time? Give me a break.
He had no business.
None.
The real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files? Or will it all remain tied up in investigations?
Ooh, I don't know. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Marjorie Trader Greene, whatever you're calling her these days, she's now saying the real test is, will the DOJ release the files, or will they use the excuse that, well, we can't release them all because there are other investigations going on?
Which makes sense.
Stop attacking Massey. Stop attacking Rand Paul. Stop attacking MTG, and because it doesn't help him in the end, and it doesn't help them, and it doesn't.
Yeah, that's Alex Jones. If you didn't immediately recognize that raspy
How
voice,
do you not recognize?
I know.
That voice?
I would hope most people would,
Right.
who've heard him over the years. He says, listen, you can disagree with Donald Trump on some things. He goes, I support his agenda. I support him on most things. He doesn't support him with his attacks on MTG and Thomas Massey.
I made that same point just about a half hour
think
ago.
maybe you did, Dan.
Yes,
I think you did. For some reason, I don't have any audio over here, so let me try to figure out why that is. Hang on just a second. I imagine it's operator error on my part.
Never.
Hey, I can't open websites.
Just blame the computer.
Here we go.
It's
Listen.
always the computer.
Here we go. Listen. Is it still not playing?
It's the computer.
In front of a credible reporter, and they've never certainly answered questions from attorneys or members of Congress. So we expect the Clintons to come in, or I expect the Clintons to be met with the same fate that Bannon and Navarro were met with when the Democrats were in control.
Ooh, how about that? Jamie Comer.
Indicted? Can you imagine them being indicted for obstruction? Oh my God, that'd be fantastic.
I don't know. I wonder how that would go. How do you think that would go?
I think they don't want to self-incriminate. That's the whole thing. They'll go in there and have to take the fifth on everything because they're so involved in so many things. How can she not deny that she and Obama were in cahoots on the Russian collusion thing?
Yeah,
I mean,
just
she
ignore
can't
that.
deny it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what she'll say.
This is not my first rodeo.
Yeah, I think that's probably what. Or she could say this.
What difference at this point does it make?
I think we'll hear a lot of those same
Right.
things of like the Rose law firm billing records that disappeared and then suddenly randomly appeared again right before Vince Foster's body with no blood in it was found in a local park in Washington, D.C. 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that was
no
that
questions
was a
asked.
suicide. That was no blood.
I'm just saying, the Clintons are so dirty, the last thing they want to do is get in front of a congressional committee under oath because they don't remember all the lies they've told the last 30 years.
Oh, my gosh.
That is going to be high drama if Jamie Comer pulls that one off. Can I just tell you that? I am so looking forward to that one. Amen.
Grab the popcorn. Oh, my gosh.
Exactly. Whatever it takes to get Hillary in an orange jumpsuit is what I would argue. All right, coming up, Senator Eric Schmidt was in town yesterday, and he made an appearance on the Mark Reardon show. I got a couple of his comments on that because I thought it was pretty interesting what he had to say on the senators who want to encourage the military to ignore orders from the Trump administration. It's outrageous. I'm going to let you hear what Senator Schmidt had to say about it coming up.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. A little bit of volume out there at this hour on southbound 61, just as you head for 6440. And eastbound 6440, a little bit of slowdown just due to road work headed for Lake St. Louis Boulevard. But that's it. Now, northbound 55, we see some moderate volume starting to appear around Bayless. So it's just that sort of thing. Just the usual beginnings of volume. But we still look good on the bridges downtown if you're headed in from Illinois. This report brought to you by Point with an E Pest Control. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Tired of mice? Point Pest Control finds their entry points, eliminates the infestation, and seals them out for good with our exclusion services. Mention Annie to get 10% off on top of any other special. Call 636-798-0023. Visit Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
All righty, my wife's already been talking to me about helping her clean the house because, of course, we're hosting Thanksgiving at our house for the family, and of course, I never look forward to that. One thing we need to do, probably either before or right after Thanksgiving, is get Zero Res out there, right? Because with Zero Res, unlike some of these either do-it-yourselfers, carpet cleaning machines, or hiring one of these big trucks that's going to put chemicals all over your house, Zero Res doesn't do any of that. It's zero residue. That's what Zero Res stands for. They don't use harsh chemicals or any of that soaps, and it doesn't leave a residue behind, but they can zero resify anything. Your carpet, your rugs, your upholstery, your tile. Let them get in there and clean it up for you, and here is their promise for November. 3 rooms of carpeting cleaned, starting at $139, $50 off air duct cleaning. If that's something you need, or if you've never had it done, you probably need to get it done. So reach out to them. They've got great Google reviews, a 4.9 rating, close to 6,000 reviews on Google. I don't know how you beat that, but don't miss this deal. Call 314-474-2020. Tell them you want the 97.1 FM Talk special, or go online today. Tell them Marc Cox sent you. It's ZeroResSTL.com.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction, 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation, or the website bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
Accidents can happen in the blink of an eye, especially in a busy city like St. Louis. Whether you're a rideshare driver or passenger, injuries can leave you feeling lost, confused, and unsure of where to turn. At Kaufman Townsley, we understand. We're from here. We live in St. Louis, and we know what it takes to fight for the rights of our neighbors. We're here to help you through the difficult time with the experience and care you deserve. Kaufman Townsley, real people, real results. Call 314-500-5000. That's 314-500-5000.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, so I heard Eric Schmidt on the Marc Reardon show yesterday. I love that Reardon says he was the first ever official senator of the Marc Reardon show. I used to have him on my weekend show back in like 2010.
Was he Attorney General then, or what was he doing?
No, he wasn't. He was. I think he had just been elected to the Senate or was running. For the Missouri Senate at the time. I remember when he got introduced when he first announced his campaign. It was in Jack Danforth's backyard. A long time. So I've known Eric Schmidt a long time. It's kind of hard to get him up this early because I've invited him on the show. We've had him on a few times since he got elected to the Senate, but it's not as easy to get him on the morning show as it is the afternoon. So anyway, whenever Reardon gets him on there, I like to let you hear some of that because some of you aren't still listening in the afternoons, I know. And yesterday he was talking, he had a couple of good subjects. He was talking about the senators in the military because Senator Mark Kelly and a few others that you would recognize went on and urged members of the military to refuse orders. It's one of the most obnoxious things. I believe Kelly was an astronaut, wasn't he? He was in the service.
Yeah.
To go in and do this is basically calling for insurrection against the government, encouraging these members to either be absent without leave or to directly defy a direct order from a superior officer.
I mean, it's desertion. It's deserting your command.
So Mark asked Schmidt about it yesterday. This is what he said about it.
What this is about is they still are so upset that Trump won, and they're actually asking now for the military and the intelligence community to intervene. And we saw over the last almost 10 years was the intelligence community did intervene. They created this fake
there you go.
Russia hoax. The FBI suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. I mean, this story goes on and on and on. And here you go. You've got elected leaders now calling on these folks, the deep state, as it were, I guess, to get more involved. It's really,
it's really disturbing. Yeah, he went on to say, and it's obnoxious. I'm going to find the bite. I thought I had it, but I went back in there. It got clipped, so I'm going to have to go back and find that again from what they had to say, and it's crazy. It is. The other thing that Schmidt was talking about was the replacement for Obamacare. You and I have talked about this a lot. What can they do other than throwing more money against the wall, throwing good money after bad, by renewing these COVID-era subsidies that didn't even exist till 2019 or 2020. The Democrats tagged them on there. And now all of a sudden the Democrats are claiming people are going to be without health care if you don't give them these billions of dollars we promised them during a national emergency.
And what happened? COVID. And what happened during that 3-year period when these subsidies, the premium rates, because people wouldn't see it, escalated in some cases 300, 400%.
Right.
So why would that happen? Because the government was a blank check. So the insurance industry goes, hey, the government's going to pay these premium increases, so we're just going to jack our premium requirements and get paid by the government. The consumers won't say crap because they're not seeing the bill. Now, guess what? The premiums are whacked out high, and people are going, oh, my God, that's not what I was paying before COVID.
Happen?
How did that happen? It's because you infused money that was fictitious, and you gave it straight to the insurance providers. You didn't affect cost. You didn't affect better care. You didn't go after the pharmaceutical companies to bring down pricing. You didn't go after the health industry for their astronomical pricing on routine procedures. No, you just gave the insurance company billions and billions of dollars, and now you expect some magical thing to keep it going. Well, guess what? Taxpayers aren't going to keep paying that.
And the Democrats were going to leverage that with the CR, and it didn't work. This is what Schmidt said yesterday.
Well, I can't. You have to have reform. I mean, you can't have, tens of billions of dollars essentially being pocketed by the insurance companies, because up to 40% of these, Mark, they were never utilized, meaning the brokers were making commissions on it. The insurance companies got the tens of billions of subsidies, and people weren't using it, whether or not they even knew they were signed up or not.
That's
right.
right.
So there has to be real reform here. And again, this was a subsidy, a COVID-era temporary subsidy that the Democrats set to expire at the end of this year. So when they enacted Obamacare, Mark, they didn't want any Republican input. If you remember, they did it by reconciliation, right? Because Massachusetts sent Scott Brown to not have 60 votes in the Senate. Remember that? So they did it with 51 votes. So then they do this temporary subsidy in one of the Biden Inflation Reduction Act legislation without any Republican votes. So they never consulted Republicans on any kind of reform. And so I think if we're going to move forward on anything, there has to be a lot of reform infused here. So it's not going to look like what it looked like before. If we can come to any resolution on it at all, I don't know. But I'm more than willing to have the debate on health care because Obamacare has been a disaster for people.
That's right.
Well,
it has.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're talking about alternatives. Can you imagine the hell the Democrats are going to raise?
Well, what if the government just said to these insurance companies, guess what? We're going back to pre-COVID premium prices, and if you don't do it, then you're out of the exchange. They'd get in line real quick.
That's a great idea.
You know what I mean? Just say, hey, we're not paying your 300% increases that you've put on people for the past 3 years. We're going back to what the premiums were pre-COVID, and if you don't like it, then we're going to kick you out of the exchange. Now, people say, well, the big companies are out of the exchange, there'll be no options. Bullcrap. Let the free market work.
They will not let the cash cow go that easily.
They're not going to just walk away from the health care program.
Nope, because you could also threaten to kick him out of, I guess, Medicare, right?
Right.
And if they wanted to play that game.
New insurers would step in. Let free market work.
The markets have not done well the last couple days. We'll check in with business coming up.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Couldn't pull off the Responder Rescue ATF raffle. That's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms without the Range St. Louis West. They have been a great partner for years and years. Thank you to John and all the folks out there who help out with that. I really appreciate it. You text Responder to 33100. You can buy your tickets. They put up a CZ 9mm. That's a concealed carry handgun. Of course, you'll have to file the paperwork with the Range if you're the winner of that one. But you could win prizes as well. A night at Lit Cigar Lounge. Maybe the liquor basket. I'm starting to call it a liquor basket. It's got plenty of bourbon and all that stuff in it. Probably worth $3,000 at this point. But I couldn't do any of it without the Range. They help us run the whole thing, and we do appreciate that. Thank you to them. Be sure and visit them. Show them your business. Show them your love. If you love the Second Amendment, 14803 Manchester Road out in Baldwin for all of your training and gun needs. It is TheRangeSTL.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 6:30 and we've got 48 degrees. An argument outside of a Jennings Dollar General store yesterday escalated to dozens of gunshots being fired and one man wounded in the gunfire. Officers responded about 4:30 in the afternoon in the 6400 block of West Florissant, where two individuals were involved in the shootout. The injured suspect drove himself to the hospital. No arrest yet have been made in that case. A St. Louis police officer faces a domestic assault and first-degree burglary charge, both felonies after he allegedly struck an ex-girlfriend in the face with his phone. Deshaun Sneed, the 24-year-old officer, is currently being held without bail. Area school districts are estimated at nearly $20 million lost the first year to the St. Louis County property freeze. That senior property freeze cost the schools $20 million, according to school officials. And in sports, the Blues battled hard, but they lost again to the Maple Leafs 3-2 on an overtime goal. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident downtown, and it was reported to be westbound on 44 near Gravois, the 12th Street Gravois exit. So be careful through there. We've got a little bit of volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. We've got northbound 55 slowing at Bayless, headed into the construction zone. And on the Illinois side, road work delays already. Eastbound 64 at Greenmount Road. That's really ongoing road work. And northbound 270. Some moderate volume, and it's mainly from Doherty Ferry up through the Clayton Road overpass. Out west, already some moderate volume on southbound 61 as you head down toward 6440. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
From now on, if you spring a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. All right, speaking of water, last thing you want in your basement is water. Last thing you want pooling on your driveway after a heavy rain is water. What that means is your foundation has a problem either in the basement or on the driveway. And the people you need are the Home Shield Foundation folks, because Matt Hayes can come out there. He can fix any of that, any and all of it. Maybe you got both problems going on at the same time. That uneven driveway is a problem because people can trip over it. Your kids can trip over it. It's hard for them to ride a bike over an area where the concrete's dropped down on one side. Let Matt get out there. He can use his polyjacking system to level that up with polyurethane they stick in the ground to fill the void. And you get a 5-year warranty with that, a lot cheaper than busting up the concrete and having it re-poured, I can tell you. Plus, he can do the same thing in the basement. If you've got a leak in the basement, he'll waterproof it for you, and he'll give you a lifetime warranty. That's peace of mind, and he is a local business owner. You want to give your money to local businesses that invest back in the community. This is one of them. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Call Matt today. Tell him I sent you. Go to 314-227-9636.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 314-567-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If your kitchen's not even functional and you can't stand the look of your bathroom, stop just living around the problem. Let Lakeside Renovation and Design help you love your home again. From spa-like bathrooms to these beautiful, functional, custom kitchens to a finished basement, their in-house team over there at Lakeside, they're going to help bring any vision you have to life. They're going to walk you through every step of the process, the planning, the permits, all the things we don't like to do. They take care of it. You just have to dream. And they have financing options like 0 payments, 0% interest for 24 months. Schedule your free consultation today. It's lakesiderd.com.
Still leading 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
People were tired of me because I couldn't win the big game. People had me meeting with my team and telling them that I was going to another school, none of which were true. Now this week it's a different story because we scored the second most points in the SEC this year at 49. So, all of this stuff is just a distraction. You know, I would like to remind everybody, including our fans, we absolutely love Mizzou. We love what we're building. You know, since I've been here, I've signed multiple extensions. In fact, I signed one this past summer. So all the speculation, it's a tribute to our team's success, and that's where my focus is going to remain on our team and our current situation.
All right, Eli Drinkowitz there talking yesterday about these rumors. And he's like, listen, it hurts recruiting. It hurts so many things when people focus on this.
Right.
With the speculation being that I'm suddenly leaving for another job. Now, I know you're a human being, right? That's the thing. If you're a fan, you have to remember he's a human being who's making a lot of money right now at Mizzou, might be able to double that at another school. If it was you, what would you do? Well, if you're a huge Mizzou fan, you wouldn't want to coach anywhere but Mizzou. As a Kentucky fan, I couldn't imagine a coach wanting to coach anywhere but Kentucky. I don't care how much money they're offering you. But at the end of the day, these are human beings who are working for a living. I don't know what he's going to do, but I like the fact that how he addressed it yesterday.
Yeah, and it is a distraction, I'm sure, for even his players.
Yeah.
You know, how is he loyal to us? Is he out on interviews? What's he doing? He just would like he was asking the media yesterday to just back off the talk that we got football to play. We want to get through the season. There'll be time to talk about if and when I'll go. What he's not doing is denying that he might be looking.
No, he did not say that. See, maybe you got to listen to what Eli didn't say yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Dom, please. Whoops. Oh, all right. Oh, there it is. Dom Savino in this morning for Nicole again. And how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I hope Drink doesn't go anywhere. He's got to stay put at Mizzou for another decade.
I think so. We'd love to keep him, but yeah, the money being thrown at him, several huge jobs, as you know, out there. He's got to be in the top 5 list of college coaches right now. I would think.
Yeah, you're right. And everybody's got a price, as you guys said.
Everybody's got a price.
Exactly.
I got a price. If anybody's interested,
Speaking of price,
I'll tell you what it is.
I want to know what's going on in the darn market. What a beating it's taken the last couple of days.
That is a great point. We can start on Wall Street, guys. Futures are slightly higher. The market, though, is trying to rebound from what you noted, 4 straight days of selling. It's all prompted by concerns from investors that the AI rally has gone too far too fast. The Dow lost nearly 500 more points yesterday. It's down close to 3% during this 4-day losing streak. Today is a big day of earnings reports, the biggest of all coming after the closing bell from the leader of the AI rally, NVIDIA. But this morning we did get fresh insights from 2 of the nation's top retailers. We've got that. First, the struggle continues at Target. The department store posted a drop in quarterly sales and lowered its full-year profit expectation. The retailer also said it expects business to be weaker than last year in the all-important holiday season. Target is in the midst of a turnaround plan, trying to reclaim its fashion sense and incorporate AI into the shopping experience. On the other hand, meanwhile, decent news from Lowe's. The home improvement retailer posted a year-over-year sales increase for the quarter. The company did lower its outlook slightly because of a tougher economic backdrop, it said, but it's better than what we heard yesterday from rival Home Depot, which missed profit expectations for the 3rd straight quarter. Boeing is hoping to win back a longtime customer. That's Fly Dubai, which has placed a new order for 75 of Boeing's 737 MAX jets. It's a day after Fly Dubai revealed it placed an order twice as big with Boeing's arch rival, Airbus. It's also been a good week for Boeing. Emirates booked a fleet of Boeing's largest twin-engine jet back on Monday. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers announced this morning he's resigning from the board at OpenAI. It follows an earlier release of emails between him and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. OpenAI is the parent company of ChatGPT. Meta has survived what's been called an existential challenge to its business. A federal judge has ruled Meta does not hold a monopoly in social networking. That means that the parent company of Facebook will not have to spin off its 2 huge acquisitions, which are Instagram and WhatsApp. And guys, not what you want to hear days before the start of the holiday travel season, though it probably is backed up by all of our experiences. A new ranking of global airlines finds all of the best carriers are overseas. Not a single U.S.-based airline cracked the top 10. American came in the highest at 11th, followed closely by United and Delta. Qatar Airways, of all airlines, took the top spot. That's based on on-time performance, passenger opinion, and claims processing.
All right, so who was number 2 and 3?
Emirates was number 2, and I can't remember who number 3 is, to be totally
I'll be honest with you. I've noticed a difference. Having flown to Europe a few times in recent years, been fortunate enough to get to go. Lufthansa, I thought the service was fantastic, and we were on Air France the last time, KLM, and that was really a high level of service. I had an enjoyable flight on both of those.
I feel the same way. I got back from my honeymoon over the summer taking Emirates back from Europe, and it was probably the best flight experience my wife and I have ever had.
I also want to add, though, that the price comparatives are ridiculously different. Like if you look at European flights, Italy to France, France to Europe, you're going to pay almost double in American dollars for that same flight as if you were going St. Louis to L.A.
Within the continent over there?
Yeah. So,
okay.
So you can say service, but at what price, right? I mean,
Interesting.
You're going to get better food. You're going to maybe get more flight attendants. You're going to have better service at the seat, but you're also going to pay for it. The air competitive, and they also don't have as much travel as we do. We're the number one flight country in the world, more domestic flights than any other nation anywhere, not even close. So when you have more volume, probably more price comparative, more consumers demanding lower prices, you can pay what you want. If you flew first class on American, you would probably get better service.
My guess is whether it's Emirates or United, if you're in coach, your knees are still up against your chest when the guy in front of you leans back, right?
That is true.
They've squeezed every dime they can out of every one of those planes.
That's right.
For sure. Hey, Dom, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, we appreciate it. He's a sports guy. Of course, he does a lot of stuff with the Rutgers, as we mentioned. And somebody got on us on Facebook yesterday. I didn't tune in to listen to sports. I'm like, we don't talk a lot about sports. We have Ackerman on twice a week. Occasionally we'll talk about Eli Drinkowitz or something like that. I talk about what's in the news and what's of interest to me is what we do on this show.
I give 10 to 15 seconds every newscast
to
our lame Blues. Just to remind you that we have now gone 5 games without a victory.
And I have intentionally not mentioned my Kentucky Wildcats score last night because they got embarrassed by Michigan State. They look like a bunch of high schoolers. I don't know what's going on down there in Lexington. So anyway,
quit talking sports.
We will ignore that. I don't want to talk sports.
Quit talking sports.
Quit making me talk sports, Dan. That's your fault. All right, coming up, we're going to get to in other news. And next hour, we'll talk to Evan Brown about that internet outage yesterday. Is there anything you can do to protect yourself? Because a lot of businesses found themselves unable to operate because they couldn't get their website. People couldn't reach their websites yesterday. Why was it so widespread?
I don't know, but I know like Eventbrite for Dasher's Dive Bar. We got a notification our ticket system was down for like 3 hours.
So we'll talk to Evan Brown about what they think happened and who was affected and what they're doing to make sure it doesn't happen again at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, we've got a couple of issues. An accident just reported southbound 61 south of North Point Prairie Road. So if you are a southbound 61 driver, bear that in mind. We already had some slow pockets headed down towards 64, which eastbound is slowing just past Prospect, all due to road work. And road work is the delay on northbound 55 as you head for Bayless, where they take you down. The left lanes actually disappear, and you're down to 2 lanes. So that's where we start to slow. Northbound 270, pockets of moderate volume between 21 and Ladue Road. We've got some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, and eastbound 64, slowing at Greenmount Road on the Illinois side due to road work. This report brought to you by the fabulous people at the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, Air Comfort Service loves our vets. They of course, they help with the St. Louis Area Honor Flight, and they support that, and thank you for that during the month of November, where we love to honor our vets. Now, here's what else I need to tell you. They've got some great discounts going on right now with their Carrier Cool Cash rebates. You need to call and talk to them about this. You may get $50, or you may get up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash if you qualify on certain HVAC equipment. So I did this last year when I got my heat pump, and there were benefits with rebates. The federal government was giving you a tax advantage to doing that. Of course, you could get rebates from the utility companies. You need to talk to my friends at Air Comfort Service if you're even thinking about getting a new unit, because you might have an opportunity to save thousands of dollars. Much of that is cash right back in your pocket. So call them up and ask them about it. Say, hey, listen, I heard Mark Cox saying he got this deal. What can I get? 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. That gets you to Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. And Corey and the folks over there are going to take great care of you. You can also schedule right online at aircomfortservice.com.
Visit 971talk.com/events and enjoy Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a Christmas tradition, at Enterprise Center December 23rd. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Visit 971talk.com.
Foreigner, a night with rock royalty. Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. August 6th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Special guest, Six Gun Sally. On sale Friday 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Skinnerd. And Foreigner. Live.
You've got your whole life ahead of you. So choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
All righty, we're getting ready to come into winter here, where we're going to be using our furnaces. A lot of you are getting prices now, or you're getting your furnaces checked and you're being told that you have an issue with your furnace and you need a new furnace. So if that is the case and you want a very simple common sense approach to picking a furnace, if that's the case, I'd appreciate you calling and giving me a chance to meet with you and discuss your options. So call me. It's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the web is bartinman.com. Now there's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
Well, we'll start off with some good news today because, of course, like so many people probably listening in this audience, my family has been impacted by Alzheimer's disease. Whenever I can help out with those Alzheimer's walks, my friend Tom Shaw has one every year. I try to do that because you need to raise awareness. And apparently they're close to making some breakthroughs in all of this. And now the story is out this morning that scientists may have found a way to stop Alzheimer's damage before it starts by melting the tiny protein clumps that tend to be early triggers of that disease. So it's long been linked to harmful protein that builds up in the brain and it interferes with cognitive function. But researchers have now discovered that small clusters appear first, and if they can locate those and dissolve them, they can freeze the progression of Alzheimer's. So that's great news.
That is really good news. That's awesome.
I'm very glad to hear that. And I mean, I don't know how close they are to being able to call you in and tell you what test you need to do that. But maybe it's closer than we all think, because Lord knows we need to spare people from having to go through that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
No kidding. No kidding. Hey, have you ever had Vegemite? Have you ever tried it?
A Vegemite sandwich? No,
Yeah.
I have not had a Vegemite sandwich.
Well,
I've heard that it's disgusting.
It is absolutely disgusting. Salty, sticky, brown product that you put out. It's actually a byproduct of brewing beer. Did you know that? It's
Is it really?
It's like the crap that's at the bottom of the barrel after the fermentation is done. That's what Vegemite is. Anyway, there's a guy, talk about a waste of taxpayer time and money. This guy's serving a life sentence in Australia. And they're actually going to give him a case in the Australian courts because he is suing the government for basically he's saying his human rights are being violated because he cannot enjoy his culture as an Australian while he is in prison because he's being denied Vegemite. So they're giving him a whole court case to determine whether this guy should have the right to eat this disgusting spread on a piece of bread. And they're going to hear the case, and he's going to trial, or it's going to go to trial. So this dude's in life for prison. Keep in mind.
Where's this?
In Australia.
In Australia. So it's an Australian thing, right?
Right.
Like in Men Down Under, that was the song,
But
right?
and here's what's crazy. 80% of Australians have it in their cabinets. 80% of people in Australia eat this disgusting.
Is it like Spam?
No,
like
no,
think it's like Spam?
no,
It looks like brown peanut butter.
It's like a jelly, but dude, all it is like this brown, sticky. The only thing you can taste is salt. That's what it's like. It's like putting a salt bed on your sandwich. I tried it one time. I'm like, what is the rage
They
here?
make something in Cincinnati. I don't know. I assume you can still get it called Geta, and it was basically whatever was left over at the pork plant because it used to be the Porkopolis was the Queen City in Cincinnati. They would scrape this stuff up and package it, and people would fry it up and serve it with eggs and stuff in the morning.
Right.
Like it was all the fatty leftovers of whatever was in there. I remember I dated a girl whose family served this for breakfast. And it's an acquired taste, but it still sounds better than
Vegemite. Vegemite actually, do you know why it got banned from prisons? Why they don't serve it and give it to prisoners?
Is it an aphrodisiac? What is it?
No, because they could spread it around their suite, around the suite or around their cell to interfere with narcotic dog detection. The dogs couldn't smell past the Vegemite. So they would just smear it around and it would throw their scent off so they couldn't find the narcotics in their cell.
Well, then why is this even being considered in court?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Because his rights as an Australian are being denied this national feast or whatever they want to call Vegemite.
There's some great video out of Pittsburgh this morning that you're going to have to look up. It's a black bear chased a kid into a dollar store. Right? So this video, this 11-year-old kid comes screaming into this dollar store, and right behind him is a black bear chasing him. So he manages to get away from the bear, and the bear's looking around, and then it jumps over the counter, like behind the thing, and it noses around for a few minutes and then runs back out the door. Nobody was injured, but you got to...
Oh, my God.
The kid's got a story to tell forever with that one, for sure. Here's another interesting story, I thought. Remember Melissa Joan Hart?
Yes.
Yeah. Do
you remember her from the age Sabrina the Teenage Witch and all that stuff? There's a story out this morning that at the height of her fame, she turned down an offer to pose in Playboy magazine. Apparently, she had accepted an offer. Remember Maxim magazine? I don't know if that's still around.
I don't think it is.
That was a more tasteful version where women were like in their underwears, undergarments, or lingerie, but not nude like Playboy. She had done a photo shoot for them, and her dad and her brother were so horrified that she turned down a multi-million-dollar offer to pose in Playboy at the time.
No kidding.
And she says 30 years later, looking back at it, she's so happy she made that decision. Which should be a lesson to all those people out there, teachers considering doing OnlyFans on the side. Because, trust me, someday your children are going to grow up and they're going to learn about this, and you're going to be humiliated that you degraded yourself like that.
Amen. Good job.
Wow.
Good point.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, way to go, Melissa Joan Hart, for admitting that now, that you're glad you made that good decision all those years ago. Thought about her family first. That's good.
That's right.
All right, coming up, Evan Brown, top of the hour, on why we got that internet outage and what are the risks of it continuing into the future. We're going to talk to Mary Vought, our friend from the Heritage Foundation, about why does Snap have more people in it than the entire state of California? Have we asked that question lately? And we'll give away a couple tickets to Guns and Hoses in the next hour. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Thanksgiving is almost here, and Ruler Foods has everything you need to make it delicious while stretching your holiday dollars. Kroger frozen turkeys, 10 to 20 pounds, just 49 cents a pound with a limit of 2. Stock up on 12 packs of Pepsi or Coke at buy 2, get 2 free prices. Limit of 8. And make those fluffy mashed potatoes with a 10-pound bag of Kroger russet potatoes for only $2.99. Celebrate more, stress less, and stretch your holiday dollars at Ruler Foods. RulerFoods.com.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
It'll go to the Senate this morning. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but the Epstein Files resolution's already been approved unanimously there in advance after passing the House with only one no vote. President Trump says he'll sign it, even though he calls it a Democrat hoax. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's wary, calling the Justice Department corrupt.
You never know with him. He said he would. Let's wait and see.
This orders the Justice Department to turn over records related to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, who, of course, had been accused of sex trafficking and abusing girls before he died in jail back in 2019.
That's Fox's Doug Luzader. President Trump and Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will meet with business leaders the day after talks and a black tie dinner at the White House, with the Saudis buying American fighter jets and investing up to $1 trillion in the U.S. But Fox's Jared Halpern reports they also addressed something the president did not like.
The 2018 killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, a murder U.S. intelligence assessed was likely carried out on the orders of the prince.
Things happen, but he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Bin Salman denies knowledge of the killing.
It's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
As the U.S. military continues to patrol off the South American coast in an operation against illegal drug trafficking, a group of Democrats in Congress put out a video urging service members to consider not taking part.
You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now,
The threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
The message doesn't name any specific orders. It was organized by Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a former CIA analyst who served in Iraq. She has expressed concern that President Trump might deploy troops to stop protests and about the legality of airstrikes against suspected drug smuggling boats.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. Russia launched another drone and missile barrage into Ukraine, killing at least 20 people, injuring 66. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 7:03 and down to 46 degrees. Still a little light sprinkles around St. Louis. An argument outside of a Jennings Dollar General store yesterday escalated to dozens of shots being fired. One man wounded in the gunfire. St. Louis County Police arrived around 4:30 in the 6400 block of West Florissant Avenue, where two individuals had been arguing. One man retrieved a gun and a shootout ensued. The one injured suspect drove himself to the hospital. Gunfire also shattered the window of the store, but no arrests in the shooting have been reported. A 24-year-old St. Louis police officer, Deshaun Sneed, faces a domestic assault and first-degree burglary charge, both felonies, after he allegedly struck an ex-girlfriend in the face with his phone last week at her apartment in Florissant. Police report that Sneed forced his way into the apartment, yelling at the woman, struck her, injuring her face and inside her mouth, then fled the scene. Area school districts are estimating that nearly $20 million will be lost in the first year of St. Louis County's new senior freeze on property taxes. The freeze comes as many area school districts are already complaining about budget shortfalls that are caused by supply pricing, higher health care, and staffing costs. More than 80,000 senior homeowners applied for that tax freeze, and 70,500 got approved. In sports, the Blues battled a bit harder in Toronto, but sadly the same result. They lost to the Maple Leafs 3-2 in overtime on a shorthanded goal just 4 minutes in. It was the Blues' fourth game in a row without a victory. That's your headline. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Crews are on the scene of an accident westbound 70 at Bermuda. Now, they've got the two left lanes and the right shoulder blocked. That leaves us just the right lanes getting by. And, of course, we have a jam behind this that goes back. Let's see, how far does it go? It's packed past Jennings Station Road, and it's a parking lot jam. That is the worst of it right now. Eastbound 70, a little slow, Lake St. Louis Boulevard through 79. Then it opens up. Southbound 61 has been a slow go, headed for 64 this morning. Little slow at Prospect, and then it opens up. Southbound 270, pretty slow right now. Olive down through Ladue Road. We've got an accident reported there. And northbound, just moderate volume in pockets on 270 between 55 and 64. 55 slowing at Bayless, and there's volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report brought to you by Point with an E Pest Control. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Annie here, and I can proudly say no more spiders in my home. I use Point Pest Control 4 times a year, and I haven't seen any, not a single one, since they've been in my home. Mention Annie and get 10% on top of any other special. Point Pest Control, 636-798-0023.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We are dry on this Wednesday, but a fair share of clouds around, partly to mostly cloudy, 60. Late night showers tonight, well after midnight, 50. Then we're going into a very wet stretch of weather. Thursday, periods of rain, some storms, 65. Periods of rain Thursday night, 53. And Friday, periods of rain and 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thank you, Dave. It's 46 degrees out there. Still a little light sprinkles in some parts of St. Louis, so be careful as you're out and about. Also, don't forget to take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere you're going at any time. You can do that. All you have to do is download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back. You know, they say the big news from yesterday was that the House voted to and the Senate voted to release the Epstein files. For most people, the biggest story of the day yesterday was, why couldn't I get on X?
My internet is down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what a lot of people were kind of focused on. And then the fact that it was so widespread. I mean, it cut across a lot of different industries and platforms, and everybody's kind of wondering what in the world went on. Now, they got it fixed, but the question is, is the system really that fragile? I don't know. Our friend Evan Brown with Fox News Radio has been covering this story and asked him to join us with an update this morning. Evan, how are you?
Good morning.
I'm glad our connection is working this morning.
Yes, it works. Everything's good. Look at that.
Yeah. So this is it. What's it called? Cloud something? Cloud.
Cloudflare.
Flare.
And most people might not have ever heard of it before.
I'm one of them. Yes, that would be true.
And there's no reason why you should have. Imagine you're walking into a store, a big retail store, and you walk in and the automatic door opens, right?
Yep.
You don't care who made the door, do you?
No. Or the mechanism
Generally
that
not,
opened
right.
it. No, right.
Right. No, but it's good that it's there because there needs to be a door, right? You need to... It's kind of how it works, right? Okay, so Cloudflare is kind of like the door at the front of the store. They provide a safety barrier between the internet at large and the stuff of the internet, whether it's apps, whether it's services and whatnot. They prevent or work to prevent hacking attacks, denial of service attacks, all those kinds of things. And they're very good at it, by the way. The problem is they're one of the very few people who do it. And they're one of the largest, if not the largest. And so when they have a problem, a lot of everything else on the internet has a problem because you can't get through the door. So that's what happened yesterday. They have issued a very big apology. They were not a subject or the target of an attack. It was an internal problem. They had some automatically generating configuration file got too large, blah, 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 and it just took the system down. And it took them a while to figure that out. They're going to work to make sure something like that doesn't happen again, of course. But in the meantime, the internet kind of went down for a lot of people yesterday, especially in the western half of the planet. And yes, it meant you couldn't rage bait post on X or mindlessly watch videos on YouTube. And you figure, oh, my gosh. But other services went down or were inaccessible, too, like Uber.
Chat GPT was down, I think, right?
Chat GPT was down, but with Uber down, that means the drivers can't drive.
Yeah,
right.
That's lots of money for a lot of people, right? Shopify had a problem. Was interrupted by this. Think of all the little mom and pop online retailers that couldn't actually do their business, and so on and so forth. What if your medical group, their electronic health records, went through Cloudflare.
Yeah.
You might not be able to get the records you needed if you needed them. So these things have real-world impacts, and what this demonstrates is that there are too few bits of the infrastructure of the internet, because if one thread gets pulled, there it goes.
That's a great point. I wonder if it will spur any conversation about that. I mean, in many cases, there are monopoly rules where you can't dominate an industry with one company. I guess there are no guidelines like that when it comes to the internet right now.
Couple things. One, is it really a monopoly if just no one else wants to play along?
Yeah,
right?
well, that's true.
If you're the only company and you didn't buy out everyone and you didn't prevent any competition, just no one else is doing it, that's not really a monopoly. That's one thing. The other thing is that, go back a few weeks, the Amazon Web Services outage.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest companies that provides the hosting for a lot of large internet services, a lot of internet-based services. Again, that went down and it took out a lot of the internet with it. We just don't have the diversity of the providers where not so it just forces kind of everyone to do business with a very small group of providers. And again, if one of them goes, there's some real impacts. The conversation about widening this infrastructure has always been ongoing, but it takes a lot of money.
Yeah, and Eben, yesterday and really the last 3-4 days, there's been real volatility on the stock market, and a lot of people are attributing it to the fear that AI is coming too quick, too fast. And I would assume there's got to be concerns when you see something like this that AI eventually could be greatly impacted. If you have plants and factories and different businesses, including banking, that are running AI platforms, well, what happens when internet services go down? What is the backup?
Right. What's contingency? We don't have good answers for that yet. And so, and this is part of the problem with cloud computing and internet-based stuff and what we call the Internet of Things, IoT. Here's a great example. If you have a Belkin Wemo light switch, the smart light switches that they've been selling for a long time, they've decided to end that product line and end the cloud service for it. So in January, I think it's January, all of those smart switches are going to be inoperable as smart switches.
What?
Great.
For one particular company, or is that all programs?
The Belkin.
Belkin Wemo.
Oh, Belkin, okay.
Wemo line of that Belkin.
Wow.
Is that for years? Yeah. So, for instance, like if you go up to the wall and you press the switch, it'll still work because it's still a physical switch.
Right.
But the ability to program it using the cloud-based
Wi-Fi, yeah.
Is going to just vanish, and so, let's just say those smart switches are not cheap. I have 3 in my house. I think that cost me, two regular switches and a dimmer. And I think it cost me a grand total of a couple $100 between the 3 of them. Now what do I do?
Now, obsolete. It's a good question. Evan, we appreciate your reporting on this morning. Thank you.
You bet.
Great
All right,
stuff. Good
take
job.
care, Evan Brown. Yeah. I did. The answer to your question is, Dan, it will be the equivalent of the power going out at the grocery store and the 16-year-old cashier being unable to count out your change without the cash register telling him or her how much money you should get back out of a $20 bill.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. The people have lost when they're completely dependent on AI and that platform goes down, they won't have the skills to maneuver around it, I fear.
It's also my fear of this whole cashless society, everything being electronic, that you're going to have electronic ID. Apple already pushing that you're not going to be able to function on Apple platforms in a year or two if you don't have this electronic ID. Well, that's, to me, that's just a dangerous territory to go down. Number one, having all of your information up in a cloud, everything you have from credit cards to bank accounts to everything, to me is one step away from government being able to cut you off at any time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what the Biden administration was pushing hard on, that digital bank currency. And
the digital ID that Apple's pushing is exactly that they want you to bundle up all of your credit cards, all of your bank accounts, everything. And they're doing it under this guise of convenience. But don't forget, folks, that's control. And
they control it.
And whether it be vicious or unintended, imagine if the cloud goes down or the system fails or whatever, you now have your entire life wrapped up in this thing that you don't have access to. You don't have access to your mortgage. You don't have access to your bank accounts, to your loans, to anything, because you are basically dead in the water if you don't have physical accounts. And I think the digital ID is also potentially going to be able to shut down local banks.
Oh, boy.
Right? Think about it. Why do you need a local branch bank if everything is being done digitally and you don't necessarily have to go in and physically see a bank? I hate saying that because it's a huge part of our industry, but that with AI and with these digital IDs, that's kind of where we're heading.
Ugh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
That's going to be a big adjustment
Fight
for sure.
it, fight it, fight it.
Coming up, we're going to give away a couple Guns and Hoses tickets. Mary Vought is going to join us next from Heritage. Speaking of AI, terrorists are now using AI. If you weren't frightened enough by the possibility of what this could mean, we'll talk to Mary about that story coming up. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident. It started as a vehicle fire. Northbound 270 approaching 6440. It's just past Manchester. They've got the two right lanes blocked. Accident reported eastbound 70 east of Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Accident reported southbound 270. Now that one is approaching Ladue Road, and they're saying it's the left lane blocked there as well. It sure is, and traffic is jammed behind that. Also, an accident westbound 70 at Bermuda. This has been in the two left lanes and also on the right shoulder. Parking lot jam behind that. Other than that, it's been the usual volume this morning. Maybe a little bit extra southbound 61 at 64 and eastbound 70. We had an accident reported east of Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Wow, that one just coming in, so be careful there as well. On the Illinois side, some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report is brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door. Simply the finest when it comes to mirror glass and shower doors. You can't find better quality, prices, or service than at Barron Mirror Glass and Door. They have the basics all the way up to the elite. Barron Mirror Glass and Door can't be beat. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan of McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
All right, just had new Christmas lights put up on my house by Corel Roofing and the folks at Sergeant Sparkles. They are teaming up right now, and they will do a fantastic job. In fact, I'm proud to say it's a little bit of a stress reliever. I don't have to worry about putting the lights up this year because the sergeant did it for me. So the great thing is they're roofers. When Corel Roofing Co. and these folks are on your roof, they're taking a look around while they're up there. So you're getting a roof inspection out of it as well. If they spot a small problem, they're just going to take care of it for you at no charge and get you through the winter. That's not a big deal. But how about that? You kill two birds with one stone. Plus, you got people that know a lot about your roofing, and they're not up there with the wrong shoes on, screwing up your roofing tiles. You got to know what to wear when you go on that roof. Depend on a roofer to do it. Plus, you get the lights. They fit the lights to your house. They're custom made. They're cut to fit exactly the dimensions of your home. And when they're done in January, they're going to roll them up on a spool and hand them to you. So if you want to use them next year, that's up to you. You're welcome to, or you can try to put them up yourself. A lot of these other companies take your lights and keep them, and then you have to go back to them to get the lights put back on. Not at Sergeant Sparkle. So give Curtis and the folks over there a call today. Tell them you heard Mark bragging about his house. 314-222-9529. That's 314-222-9529 or online at CorelRoofingCo.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA. So we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
From the gateway city to the front lines of freedom, this is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, welcome back. You know, when the whole government was shut down and everybody was screaming about SNAP benefits, my guess is, Dan, and tell me if I'm wrong about this. Of course, I know about DBT cards and them getting recharged every year and all that. I don't know that I had taken a good look at the numbers of people on it. And that's the frightening part about the whole thing. We've got Mary Vought with us this morning from the Heritage Foundation, and she's, of course, the director of strategic comms for them, vice president. Mary, thank you for joining us again. How are you?
Good. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing fine. You know, I saw somebody comment, and I won't take credit for it. When all this was going on, the question we should be asking is, why are so many people on SNAP right now? As opposed to worrying about the fact that it was running out of money because Democrats shut the government down.
Absolutely. The whole shutdown highlighted the egregious faults with this program. And a lot of individuals, as we've seen on social media programs, were abusing the system. And they were bragging about it on these platforms. And so there's a lot of talk about reforming the program. As you know, with government programs, once they get started, there's a lot of fraud that can be associated with it, and it's really hard to prevent it. In Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, they did make some reforms to SNAP, which is great, and they, changed and improved some of the work requirements that individuals have to show in order to receive the benefit, but more needs to be done. Brooke Rollins of the Department of Ag, she said that she's going to, because of all the fraud that they witnessed during the shutdown, individuals need to reapply for the program in order to see whether they're eligible or not, which is really great. But there's more that can be done. Congress can, they can audit the system, the welfare system, and make sure that individuals are meeting the responsibilities in order to receive the benefit. But it's pretty egregious what we saw on social media and a lot of individuals that were outright bragging about gaming the system.
Gaming the system, threatening violence if they didn't get their benefits. I mean, the U.S. has such a long history. There's the great piece there on the Daily Signal on this morning showing the history of this, dating back to Eisenhower and John F. Kennedy and others. And like so many of these safety net programs, like Social Security was originally designed as a safety net, so you won't absolutely run out of money if you're that desperate. Here's what we're going to do, and now it's grown into something that's just taken on a life of its own.
Absolutely, there's nearly 42 million people, 1 in 8 in the United States, are on this program. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. And that's not to say that there are people that need the benefit, that it's helped them to get back on their feet and help them support their family. But when a majority of individuals are gaming the system and it's not serving the purpose that it was supposed to serve, that's at the expense of taxpayers. That's at the expense of working individuals. And that's not fair, and that's not how a successful country should be run.
Mary, in 2020, that number was only 21 million. What in the world happened? And people can say COVID or whatever, but this is a permanent program. And did they do something with the income requirement? How did 27 million additional people get added in a 4-year span to this program and more than double the cost to taxpayers nationwide? I mean, that many people weren't going hungry, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes that were made. It's not politically popular to try to reform these type of programs. And so when you have people in Washington, D.C. that for lack of a better word, don't have a spine. They're noodle individuals. They're not going to lose political capital to take this on. A lot of people have also said that we should require states to fund part of this, because then states will actually see the money coming from their books and try to reform it. But they did change some of the work requirements. I mean, when you have different parties in control, there's different amendments that are put in bills. There's things that people, carrots that they try to do to campaign on and get elected. But it's definitely gone on for too long without congressional oversight, and it needs an audit. We audit the Pentagon. We audit our agencies. Families audit their books. They look at what they're spending and they make responsible decisions to try to help their families. The federal government should as well, and these programs most certainly need to be gone under the microscope.
Yeah, I agree completely. Mary Vought with us from the Heritage Foundation. Another story that caught my eye on the Daily Signal is that terrorists, there's evidence, the Islamic State specifically, has started to use AI to market itself, right? To try to further its ideology. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a fascinating story by our friend Virginia Allen. These terrorist organizations, they're trying to move with their emerging technology and stay relevant. They want to promote their propaganda, and so they're utilizing some of these platforms like video games, which they've used to communicate and push their propaganda agenda, largely targeting young individuals, trying to give them a worthy cause to involve themselves in. Cryptocurrency they're using to try to hide money. And let's face it, under the Trump administration, Trump is such a strong leader, and international entities and evil entities like terrorists, like the cartel, they understand that they have limited time under the Trump administration. And so in order to continue to do what they're wanting to do, they need to find sneaky ways to do it. And so they're utilizing these platforms, the emerging technology, to try to stay relevant, to try to grow and strengthen their influence. And it's pretty alarming.
It is. One more thing to worry about. Mary Vought, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Have a great day. Heritage.org, dailysignal.com if you want to read a little more on that. All right, we'll get to our Guns and Hoses ticket giveaway. Stay tuned.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5 while supplies last. Each ornament supports Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis. Together Credit Union, honoring 100 years of KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, and Children's Miracle Network of Greater St. Louis, improving the health of all children.
All right, my friend Gloria Liu. In fact, I'm going to see her tomorrow. Great human being and a fantastic real estate agent. She's going to be down here in the building with us tomorrow. And you just, if you have questions about real estate, if the market, because of interest rates have gone down, has started to intrigue you, you're thinking about stepping in, call Gloria right now. You're not under any obligation, but she can answer questions for what your home's worth in these market conditions. She can tell you how quickly she could sell it. She's got a list of people ready to buy in your neighborhood. Here's her number, 314-325-6888. And when you have her on the phone, say, hey, Mark wanted me to ask you about your guarantee that you'll sell my home for 100% of market value or you'll pay me the difference. Gloria will tell you how that works. It's not a trick. She's been doing it for years. Call her up today at 314-325-6888 or go online to gloriahasthebuyers.com.
497.1 FM Talk. I'm Dan Buck. Right now we've got some light rain throughout St. Louis, and we've got 48 degrees. An argument outside of a Jennings Dollar General store yesterday escalated to dozens of shots being fired. One man wounded in the gunfire. St. Louis police say that one of the injured suspects drove himself to the hospital. Meanwhile, no arrests have been made yet in that shooting. A 24-year-old St. Louis police officer, Deshaun Sneed, faces a domestic assault and first-degree burglary, both felonies, after allegedly striking an ex-girlfriend in the face with a phone last week at her apartment in Florissant. That according to Florissant police reports. In sports, the Blues went out to overtime with Toronto, and they give up a shorthanded goal in OT to lose 3-2. The Blues have now gone 4 games without a win. It is 7:31 and 48 degrees. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we have had some issues on the roads this morning. Westbound 70 continues to be just jammed as you head for Bermuda. There was an accident there blocking the 2 left lanes. And westbound 6440, that's lined up Kings Highway through the inner belt. Eastbound traffic slowing at 170. We have an accident southbound 270 approaching Ladue Road. That started in the left lane as well, and we've got a jam back north of Page. Northbound 270, the usual volume, but that's pockets. 55 up through Ladue Road, northbound 55 slowing in the right lanes at 270, and at Bayless. Out west, southbound 61 slowing as you ramp onto 64, and eastbound 70, just some moderate volume headed for O'Fallon, and then it opens up into downtown. Moderate volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, my friends at Overhead Door Company, they always honor our veterans. They give a discount to the members of our military, and I love the fact that they go to trouble to do that all the time, and you're going to love working with Overhead Door Company. In fact, and I mentioned this before, this morning, I looked at the clock on my car, 4:15 a.m. I'm driving down Highway 40, and what do I see next to me? I passed one of the overhead door trucks, the ones with the red ribbon, no doubt headed off either to work or to a call, because here's what they promise you. They will do same-day service. So for all I know, somebody's garage door didn't go up. They called the emergency number, and Overhead Door Company had already dispatched somebody to go over there and get that problem taken care of. You can request a quote right on their website. You can imagine, you can view any door they have on your house on their website, which is fantastic. And right now, they will, of course, they've got discounts on there that you can find if you go to their website toward the cost of a new door or a new insulated door on your house as we get closer and closer to these deep winter temperatures. Call them today. Tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about them. They just fixed the door on my house recently. 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Looking for some iced caffeine, left you in the cold. No one knows why brown water costs as much as liquid gold. Told him your name was Brian, why does this cup say Nicole? But then you found paradise in your cup at the Quick Trip. No regrets to start your day.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
I know what that means.
Yeah, baby. A little boxing coming up at the Enterprise Center 1 week from today. In fact, on the 26th is Guns and Hoses. If you haven't been down there, it's a party. And we've got a couple tickets to give away this morning because we are the official radio station of Guns and Hoses. And I'm going to be playing, I just found out, Dan, I'm going to be in the ring. Not boxing, mind you, but doing interviews with some of the winners.
Awesome.
In leading up to the televised portion of what happens.
That's fun. So you'll be doing the live in-ring interviews after each match?
Within the stadium,
Yeah.
within Enterprise. So
Very
that'll be
cool.
fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So how about, I don't know, how about caller number 9, since there's usually 9 rounds in a fight, or 10 rounds, right?
3 in these, I think.
Yeah, there's only 3 in these, but we'll just triple that and go with caller 9 at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. And I was watching some of the interviews that they've done in the past with these guys. Chris Pronger did it one year.
Gosh, he's funny.
He's pretty
great.
funny to watch him up there. Because he's like 2 feet
6'4".
taller than everybody
yeah,
else.
He's 6'4", 6'5".
Oh yeah, big guy. We had him in here when he and his brother are selling a brand of Canadian whiskey, and we had him in the studio one time talking about it. So it was great to get him in here.
My best Pronger moment was we were in a home run hitting derby contest at slow pitch softball, and we both just kept hitting bomb after bomb after bomb, and the first one to miss was going to lose. And it was I hit a line drive, one hop the fence. He gets up laughing at me because he thinks it's over, and he popped one up on the infield. I'm like, yeah, take that. So anyway,
he's a good batter.
Dude, he was hitting bombs. Have you ever seen that guy hit a golf ball?
I have not.
He can hit a 300-yard drive.
I'm sure he can.
Just bombs it. Him and Al McGinnis hit balls.
If you're an athlete, that's how you do that, right?
Especially a hockey player. You would think
you got
they would
that
be
eye-hand
good golfers.
coordination. Yeah.
No, they are outrageously good. They're not good putters or stuff like that. But, oh, my gosh, he can hit a missile off of a tee box. Yeah.
Well, I was watching him in the interview afterwards, and he's got that Canadian accent, eh? Like, what was your motivation, eh? To all the boxers. So I was trying to learn something from the Pronger man there. But good luck to you winning the tickets. We'll give away another pair tomorrow and Friday. Again, coming up on Thanksgiving Eve. Wednesday the 26th, and all the money raised, it's going to sell out, I'll guarantee you that. You can go to stlgunsandhoses.com to buy tickets. You can go to Hair Saloon. I was there yesterday to get my hair cut in preparation for my on-camera work next week, and they're selling tickets. I think you buy one, you get one at Hair Saloon. Because the goal is to sell this out. Last year they gave $1 million check to Backstoppers, and I'm sure it's going to be a little over that this year. That would be my guess.
Just
I hope.
Great company, too. Just locally owned and do great work, and they cut great hair, too. Yeah,
they do. I've been going there for probably 20 years.
That's all.
It's been a long time. John has been cutting my hair out there at the shop in Ellisville for many, many, many years. When I shaved my head a few years ago, Dan, I don't know if you remember that, I was joking on the air one day about how we could raise some money for Backstoppers, and I was talking about my winning the best hair on a local news anchor one time, and like the Riverfront Times or something years ago, and I think it was Trisha who suggested, you should shave your head for charity, Mark, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not shaving this hair. This hair is great. It would take a lot of money for me to shave my head, and before the show was over, I said, I'm thinking it would take at least $5,000, if not more.
Right.
Before the show was over, we already had like people had called in and offered to donate like $2,500 before the show was over. So we discontinued the bid, and I'm like, okay, if we get to 10,000, I'll shave my head, and we did. We raised like $11,000 and wrote a check to Backstoppers for it, and I found out something I did not know. You have to be licensed in the state of Missouri to use a straight edge razor.
Right.
And we had to find a young lady at the hair salon I go to in Ellisville. Hair salon helped locate her for me, who was licensed to use a straight edge. So Jonna took the clippers and started shearing it off. And when it got just so short, the other lady had to come in with the shaving cream and then start skinning it back, right? With the razor.
You went shiny bald.
I went shiny, slick bald.
You didn't just do a one down to the nub. You shined it.
Some heads are meant to have hair on them. Let's just put it that way.
Are there pictures of this?
There are. We did it live on Facebook. There's video of me getting my head shaved at hair salon out in Ellisville.
Wow.
And it was a weird feeling, like to see all my hair on the floor. And then my hair grows back pretty quickly, but I was looking for that slick look. It lasted for about a day, and my hair grew back so quickly. Then it just had that stubbly look, right? And I couldn't keep up with it, so I just slowly let it start growing back.
Yeah, I almost lost my job over a head shaving. We told my daughter's 6th grade softball team, like, just as the CYC tournament was starting in softball, we said, if you guys win it off, you guys go and take the whole CYC. Well, our parish had never gotten out of districts, let alone win. So we thought it was a pretty safe bet. I'll be darned. They run the table. They win it all. So all the coaches, like the next day, we all go, we get our head shaved. I show up at Show Me St. Louis. My producer about had a cow.
I'll bet.
She was like,
that you were suddenly bald.
You got to get a wig. You got to get something. That's a horrible looking head. You have got to take it. And I got called to the principal's office. Like, you got to clear that with us before you go and shave your head. And I'm like, well, I didn't know. I didn't even think about it.
Somebody gave me one of those visors with the fake hair sticking up that you can stick on to keep your head warm. And anyway, I love doing it. That when I walked out, the local police, couple of the local police departments met me outside with lights and sirens and thanked me for doing it, for Backstoppers.
That's awesome.
Every little bit helps. Which brings us back to what we're doing right now with the ATF raffle and Responder Rescue. These folks started this a few years back, and I've just wholeheartedly supported it with everything I can do on this show. You can win thousands of dollars in alcohol because everybody keeps donating more and more stuff to me. And now, I thought I had a couple $1,000s worth of bourbon and wine and now moonshine and rum. And it just keeps growing. And I've got some of the hard to get bottles like Pappy Van Winkle and Weller 12 and Weller Antique 107, all those in that. So it's probably worth close to $3,000. Now you could stock a bar if you win that item out of the raffle, or you might choose the $500 handgun from the folks at the Range St. Louis West, or the other person is going to get a night for 10 of their closest friends out clubbing at the Lit Cigar Lounge with your expenses covered.
Man.
So that's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
And all you have to do is go to text responder to 33100, and it goes straight to your phone. The link takes you straight to the website. On the website, you can pick how many tickets you want to buy. They're only $1 a piece, but there's a minimum purchase of $10. So you're going to get 10 tickets for $10. You get bonus tickets the more you buy. If you make your purchase and you share on your social media, hey, I just bought tickets to the Responder Rescue ATF raffle, you're going to get bonus tickets for doing that. And the person that follows your link will also get bonus tickets. So we're trying to get as many people involved as possible. Please share this if you've already purchased. And here's the big kicker this year. Earlier we were talking about Chris Pronger and these other guys, right? Al McGinnis. Tony Twist has agreed for the person that donates the most money this year, buys the most tickets, you'll get to go to dinner with me and Tony and the fine folks from Responder Rescue at a restaurant to be determined. And if two people donate the exact same amount, we're just going to have to flip a coin because we're only taking one winner for that. But you might not win one of the three prizes, but you are going to get a prize if you're the biggest donor this year. So, like if you're going to donate $500, donate 501 so there's not a tie. Make it an odd number so we don't end up with a tie, and then we'll get to go have a great dinner and let Tony Twist entertain us with some of his great stories from his glory days with the Blues.
We did get a winner.
Rough and
It's,
tough. Good.
William from Alton, Illinois. So
All right.
congratulations, William.
Attaboy.
You bet. Congratulations.
Going
on
to
that.
the fights.
Yep. I'll see you in there. I'll be down there next Wednesday night. It's going to be fantastic. All right. We'll get to Dan's segment coming up next. And next hour, we're going to talk more about the hemp bill. Maybe you don't care about it, but if you have teenagers, right now they can go buy this Delta 8 and smoke it just like dope, and it's got THC in it. And there's been a push by the police chiefs in Missouri to get this regulated so that kids can't get access to it, right? But the bill does a lot more than that. Like it bans some. It's going to cost a lot of jobs in Missouri, to be honest with you. Legitimate businesses that are selling products to adults, and they're trying to figure out a way to tweak it now. And we're going to talk to one of the business owners from Union who's going to be impacted by this coming up at about 8:20. So stay tuned for that. We're back in a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident reported westbound 70 at Lucas and Hunt in the left lane. Now, this comes after they've cleared the accident 70 at Bermuda. But that westbound accident causing a delay. Eastbound, some moderate volume in that area. Westbound 64, most of the volume is between Kings Highway and the Inner Belt. That's westbound. But eastbound, a little slow at Prospect and then approaching Clarkson in pockets through Big Bend. They cleared the accident southbound 270 at Ladue Road. That is unwinding. And we've got northbound 270 stacked up between 21 and Manchester. 55, the heaviest there, is right at Bayless. And out west, 61 southbound, still slow, headed down towards 6440. Now on the Illinois side, 64 eastbound, slowing at the 55-70 split, and from there across the Poplar Street Bridge, even some volume northbound Route 3, making that merge with 55-64. This report brought to you by the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Now, if you have been thinking about retirement and realizing how close it is, because for a while you thought, oh, it's not that, we'll just save and it'll be fine. Well, that really isn't enough. And that is where financial and tax architects come in. What they do is help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, how to minimize taxes, how to retire with confidence, how to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k or IRA, and teach you about Social Security. So their idea is we'll bring it with us. We'll have a 2.5-hour class, and we'll go over some of this stuff. You'll see how we operate, and you will probably decide in the end to have financial and tax architects sit down with you, look at everything you've got, and come up with a written retirement plan. But start with the class. You have to register, but it's free. So call 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event, the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
Want immediate cash for your home or see what your home is really worth in today's market? Find out for free from the local experts. My friends Marc and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. 314-336-1991. Check out thegelmanteam.com today. That's thegelmanteam.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative. But don't give a
It is our Warrior Woman Wednesday, and I'm going to go back in the well for a strong woman and share a social media warrior that I featured a few weeks ago. I choose this woman because she is smart, she's funny, and she's always on point. She's a Christian podcaster. Her name is April Chapman. Her podcast is called Unshakable, and her name is irrelevant to her content. April is just a truth seeker, man, and she's dropping bombs all the time. And today I guess it was yesterday, I saw a post come from her that was on the issue of Candace Owens, which has just been bugging me for weeks. Like, what is Candace doing? She has clearly left the reservation of common sense, and she's kind of become an anti-Trumper, anti-everything that she used to stand for. Even recently, she went after Turning Point USA for talking about faith too much. Did you see that, where she attacked them for
I did not see that one.
Yeah, they just need to be focused on politics and don't need to be throwing Christ out there all the time. Well, I'm like, what? So
It's
anyway,
Turning Point USA.
Yes, and that's what Charlie stood for. But anyway, this is another Black American female conservative talk show host who basically breaks down exactly why she thinks Candace Owens seems to be lost these days. Hit it, Ethan.
Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, shall we? Because apparently Candace Owens has once again, she has emerged from the Valley of Dry Bones with a hot take that nobody asked for. And to be honest, I did not see this one coming. This time, she is accusing Turning Point USA of talking too much about faith, as if mentioning Jesus 3 times at an event is some kind of theological felony. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. So allow me, your friendly neighbor, truth teller, let me just go ahead and say it. I don't know how much more plain I can make it, but Candace Owens is not a Christian, period. Full stop.
Oh, boom.
She is not. She is not born from above. The things of the Spirit are foolishness to her. So, of course, since that is the positional state of her soul based on her public actions and her words, so of course, she's going to be allergic to a faith-based conversation. Of course, she hears scripture and starts itching. Of course, she's going to recoil every time someone mentions Christ, like a vampire who sees sunlight.
Ouch.
She does this because spiritual things irritate unregenerate hearts.
Her name is April Chapman. You'll love her. Go out there, give her a share. She's on, I think, every platform. I've seen her on Facebook. I know she's out on X. She's even got her regular podcast over on LinkedIn. So just got to look on the Unshakable April Chapman. She's growing, too. She has only been doing this a couple years. She's got a couple 100,000 on X, a couple 100,000 following her on Facebook. But that number, every time I tune in and watch one of her things, she's always getting bigger and bigger numbers of people following her. She could, who knows? She could be maybe the next Candace.
What, Candace Owens type? I don't know. Yeah.
She's a little more rough than
first
Candace.
she
Candace
needs-
is very polished,
First,
right?
she needs to get a microscope and go over and examine the First Lady of France, and then she'd be further down that path. I mean, I hope if she becomes the next Candace Owens, she doesn't go off on some of those tangents.
Holes, these rabbit
I don't know,
holes
man.
she goes down. It's just like, let it go. I could really care less if the France First Lady is a first man. I mean, or, she's now saying that the Jewish state killed Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's one thing after another, and I don't know, but this gal is a phenomenal conservative voice out there. And again, I keep telling you, this African-American community is going to win the midterms. I am telling you, they're waking up. And it's people like her who are out there telling the truth and getting the African-American conservative voice out there. Now, you're never going to see her in mainstream media. They don't want to hear people like her and Officer Tatum and all the other great conservative voices that are on social media. That's why you got to go out and find them and share them and let that voice be heard, because I do think there's a lot of people in the black community who are waking up to the fraudulent policies and lies of the left, and they're coming around to common sense.
All right, coming up, we got Taylor Riggs back today from Fox Business. We'll talk to her about the turbulent market the last few days, why in the world things have dropped so much on some of this tech news and concerns about AI, and the new law regarding hemp. How many jobs will it cost just in the state of Missouri? We're going to talk to one of those business owners at about 8:20. Stay tuned.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They are the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Hey guys, Sig Glock and Colt from Tactical in St. Peter's. We sell guns now. That's right. Not just any guns, Gucci guns. The guns you're looking for. Come in and ask about custom orders if we don't have it. Tactical Cave Springs and St. Peter's.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser. And whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
In the last 20 years or so, have you all had buy a replacement refrigerator, washer, dryer, dishwasher after 20 years, 25 years, and then replaced with a new one in the last year, like 1 or 2 or 3 years? I have. I had a refrigerator 9 years old, so I asked the appliance tech, do I need to get to real high-end stuff? And his response to me was, there's no difference in the very expensive stuff and to what you have right here. The only difference is they make them look different, and they all break the same way. The only difference being the high-end parts are extremely expensive. So if you need a furnace or an air conditioner or both, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
Solving the mystery of options for health insurance is our mission. Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency have a variety of options. Individual, family, child only, or group plans, and that's just health insurance. Or maybe you need life, accident, critical illness, dental, or vision benefits. Do you travel outside the country or plan to for pleasure, business, or overseas contracting? Call us. We have options for you, too. Call Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency. We put the sure in insurance. For a free quote, call 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
find a way to end a war that keeps killing civilians. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll is in Kyiv to meet with Ukrainian leaders and share military technology as that country's president visits Turkey looking for more support trying to stop Russia, which launched another deadly attack, killing at least 20 people, injuring 66.
President Volodymyr Zelensky called it a brazen attack. In Ternopil, in western Ukraine, 9-story apartment blocks were hit. People could still be trapped in the rubble. 3 districts of the country's second largest city, Kharkiv, were also struck by a massive drone attack. In total, Russia fired more than 470 drones and 47 missiles overnight.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump's approved a Saudi purchase of American fighter jets,
designating Saudi Arabia as a major non-NATO ally.
He said that while hosting Saudi leader Mohammed bin Salman at a black tie dinner.
The president rolled out the red carpet for the Saudi crown prince, and in return, MBS brought President Trump a big check.
Today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas.
Later on today, during a business summit at the Kennedy Center, the leaders will be joined by the heads of Chevron, Qualcomm, Cisco, General Dynamics, and Pfizer, among others.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House, where the president again called the push for the release of all the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking files a hoax, but added he'll sign it with nothing to hide. The Senate unanimously approved the resolution compelling the Justice Department to hand over the files, after the House also passed it with just one no vote. Annie Farmer is an Epstein victim.
This is not an issue of a few corrupt Democrats or a few corrupt Republicans. This is a case of institutional betrayal. Because these crimes were not properly investigated, so many more girls and women were harmed.
America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
497.1 FM Talk. I'm Dan Buck. It is 8:03. We've got 49 degrees under cloudy skies. An argument outside of a Jennings Dollar General store yesterday escalated to dozens of shots being fired. One man wounded in the gunfire. St. Louis County Police responded to 6400 block of West Florissant, where 2 individuals had been arguing when one man retrieved a gun and a shootout ensued. The one injured suspect drove himself to the hospital. Gunfire also shattered the window of the store and a nearby vehicle. No arrests in the shooting have been reported. A 24-year-old St. Louis police officer, Deshaun Sneed, is facing domestic assault and first-degree burglary charges, both felonies, after he allegedly struck his ex-girlfriend in the face with a phone last week at her apartment in Florissant. Area school districts are estimating that nearly $20 million will be lost in the first year of St. Louis County's new senior freeze on property taxes. The freeze comes as many school districts are already grappling with budget shortfalls due to rising supply prices, higher health care, and staffing cost increases. More than 80,000 senior homeowners applied. 70,500 were approved for that property freeze in 2024. In sports, the Blues battled a bit harder last night in Toronto, but sadly the same result. They lost to the Maple Leafs 3-2 in overtime. They gave up a shorthanded goal just 4 minutes into the extra period. The Blues' 4th game in a row without a win. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, this morning we have had our share of challenges, and the latest is an accident westbound 70 at Lucas and Hunt. They've got the left lane and the left shoulder closed through there. And an accident northbound 170. This is just approaching the Rock Road. Looks to me like they've got that one off to the shoulder, but you may encounter a slow go. And we've got southbound 170 really lined up in that area as you head down towards 70. Now, westbound 6440 still a slow go. Anywhere from Kings Highway out through McCausland. It's eastbound that still has slow pockets out west into about Big Bend. We've got southbound 141 jammed and northbound at 64 this morning. Northbound 141 jams at 44. Northbound 270 slow pockets 21 on up through Ladue Road, and then it looks a little bit better. 55 northbound slowing right around Bayless, and still some volume westbound headed for and crossing the Poplar Street Bridge. This report is brought to you by Point with an E Pest Control. I'm Sue Thomas on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Tired of mice? Point Pest Control finds their entry points, eliminates the infestation, and seals them out for good with our exclusion services. Mention Annie to get 10% off on top of any other special. Call 636-798-0023. Visit Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We are dry on this Wednesday, but a fair share of clouds around, partly to mostly cloudy 60. Late night showers tonight, well after midnight 50. Then we're going into a very wet stretch of weather. Thursday, periods of rain, some storms, 65. Periods of rain Thursday night, 53. And Friday, periods of rain and 59. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Right now, 48 degrees, as Dave said, cloudy skies this morning. Don't forget, you can take the Marc Cox Morning Show with you anywhere you go and listen to it anytime by downloading that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back. No, we don't have the Epstein list yet. Trump has not signed the bill. Seems to be what the whole world is focusing on, and I'm really like, who cares? Who cares?
Although, come on, you got to be curious.
Well, I'm curious to find out if there's even the list everybody thinks is out there. I don't think anybody really knows what they're going to end up with out of this.
Well, and my question is, if the list is in the documents, why have there not been any indictments?
Yep.
Right? If there's enough evidence to say that you were part of this and you've got the witness testimonies that have already gone before Congress, I mean, you would think if there was enough there,
somebody would have prosecuted it.
Yes, beyond Epstein
if there were
and
videotape,
Maxwell.
there was video proof, if there was all that stuff. Dan, I agree with you completely. Or, and this will be controversial, Trump told him he didn't want him to release the list so that they would all vote to release the list, because then we're going to find out he was a confidential informant for the FBI helping them investigate Epstein to begin with. That'd be a little twist, wouldn't it? That would be some
awesome.
3D chess, wouldn't it? Even though Kamala Harris doesn't know what that is.
Not just that he wasn't involved, but that he actually was actively pursuing ways to take Epstein down.
He banned him from Mar-a-Lago. He did, been a long time ago was talking about how horrible that island was, and honestly, I don't think if you're a Trump supporter, you have anything to fear. If you are a Clinton supporter, go to the liquor store on the way home today, because you might need it once some of the
and let's just make sure we accurately report that is our theory. That is Mark's theory, that this whole potential FBI informant. Right? We know nothing.
It's
at
a
this
theory.
Point. Yes.
It's that I'm just saying. I think he's played him like a fiddle here. We'll see what happens. They just every time they think they've got him, they don't have him. So we'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. Anyway, glad you're back with us here. We've got lots to get to this hour. We're gonna break down the hemp law, the new hemp restriction voted on by Congress takes effect in a year. It's going to affect a lot more businesses than I thought. I kind of had my eyes open to this because I really only was focused on the the product that kids might be able to buy over the counter, and it's got some THC content in it, but it's not like what you would get at a dispensary. For some reason, it was still legal. They tried to close that loophole. Did they go too far, though? Are they shutting down some legitimate businesses that were catering to adults? That's a question our next guest will be able to answer. Brian Riegel owns a hemp drink company out of Union, Missouri, and we're going to talk to him about this. He is also, I believe, on the board for the Missouri Hemp
Association.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be able to address some of that and what they hope to get done before next year.
Can we also find time this hour to talk about that darn whining press release that the school districts put out about how they're going to lose $20 million due to the senior citizen property tax freeze? I want to totally vet.
I would love to find out more about that.
Oh, dude, I'm going to unload on it. Just you give me 3 minutes, and I will so unload on my frustration with that story.
Well,
these whining school districts.
From the beginning of it, there were even municipal leaders and others who complained what it was going to cost them. But so what you're telling me is if you got the freeze this year, your taxes on your home won't go up again next year. They'll stay frozen at this level.
Are we going to do this now?
No, we're going to get into it a little bit. My point was,
I will go off. My blood starts
my
boiling.
point was, it has not cost you anything yet. There's a chance that next year, the year after that, if your property value would have gone up, then you would lose money.
No, 70,000 people got the break this year of the 82,000 that applied. Right,
I agree.
So they're losing that money this year, right? And this because the taxes are paid in January, which is part of the school year. So they're not going to see the increase. But again, I'm going to save this for later. But they're not going to see the increase of what would have been on those property taxes on seniors to the tune of $20 million. You'll know where I'm going with
this. Okay. All right. Good. All right. We'll talk about that for you coming up here in just a few minutes. And we're going to get to Taylor Riggs at the bottom of the hour. She's great. She can talk a little bit more about what it is in the AI field that has rattled the market the last few days. If you've been watching the stock market and if you've been watching your 401k, you probably wonder what in the world's going on. So we've got Taylor in here, the expert, at about 8:35. In the meantime, we are going to get to our top stories. Please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
So we know that the intentional attacks that are coming from the Trump administration and the extreme right in this country has very much been what I call it's an attempt to relitigate the Civil War.
That's the crazy mayor in Chicago. He thinks because you want to enforce border laws, you are trying to relitigate the Civil War. This guy has completely lost his crackers. Can I just tell you that?
Wow.
And finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., have all, and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people.
So Zohran Mamdani is about to be sworn in as mayor in New York. This is the lady he's picked to replace him on the board. In New York, on the New York City Council. Her name is Aber Kawas, and she too is convinced the entire world is out to get her because of the color of her skin.
I wonder why Johnson even did this press conference. What does he think he's accomplishing? What does he think he's accomplishing by deriding these women and basically dismissing their concern?
Come on, Claire Bear. Claire McCaskill has to earn money somehow. I guess she's doing it with MS Now instead of MSDNC these days because they changed the name. Mike Johnson didn't do anything to deride any victims yesterday. All he did was point out that for 4 years, Joe Biden could have released this information and opted not to.
Was that Democrats were working with Epstein, that media journalists were working with Epstein, all for one purpose, to try to embarrass Donald Trump. And we also learned that Hakeem Jeffries, the main Democrat in the House now, the new Nancy Pelosi, that he was actually soliciting Epstein for money. So nothing bad about Trump, only bad stuff about the Democrats. We'll see where this investigation goes.
Wow. James Comer saying, hey, release them. All I've seen so far involves some bad actors on the other side of the aisle, one of whom, they tried to censure the one lady, Plaskett or whatever her name is, yesterday. The vote failed because 3 Republicans switched over and voted not to censure her for whatever reason. I didn't recognize any of the 3 names. None of them were from Missouri or Illinois, I don't think. And 3 voted that they just didn't vote. They abstained from the vote.
Yep.
So those 6 votes were enough to swing it so that she did not get a censure for trading text messages with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing back in 2019.
In real time, reiterating questions directly from Epstein to the witness.
Cohen.
And it's mind-blowing to me that's not the top story. That Epstein himself was giving her
Feeding her information
and data while she was in the hearing room. That's just, I mean, this guy was a convicted pedophile.
Shows you who they were willing to deal with in hopes of getting at Donald Trump.
Exactly.
That's why.
Right.
That's what it was all about.
And Epstein, there's tons of evidence of Epstein working with both journalists as well as Democrats, trying to get a case built against Donald Trump for a period of about 6 years, that they were after him and couldn't make anything stick because there's no there.
We'll hopefully we'll know soon, and I agree with you completely on that one. All right, coming up, we're going to get to our friend Brian Riegel, who lives in Union, who runs a hemp drink company, about how this new ruling, this new law passed by Congress, could impact his business within the next 12 months. We're going to be back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
We've got an accident southbound 170 at Airport Road. The 2 left lanes are blocked, and the left shoulder, we've got a jam that goes back through 270. Now, they cleared the accident northbound 170 near the Rock Road, but we're still dealing with the accident westbound 70 at Lucas and Hunt. The left lane has been blocked there, and there's a pretty good jam going behind it. Now, eastbound 70, there's some moderate volume in the O'Fallon area this morning, but then it opens up into downtown. 64 isn't bad either. There is some volume out at Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but then most of it is in pockets approaching Clarkson through Big Bend, with westbound slowing at Kings Highway. Northbound 270, slow pockets approaching Gravois through Ladue Road. 55, still some volume at Bayless. And we've got a slow go westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, just, admiring some Rhino Shield pictures the other day. My friend Darren sent me before and after photos of some homes with aluminum and steel siding on them. The paint, regular paint, does not hold up well on those surfaces. It gets hot in the summer, then it gets beaten down by rain and everything else, and it gets kind of dry looking, right? Kind of powdery. You get Rhino Shield on there, it's going to remain bright and vivid for as long as you can imagine, because they're going to give you a 25-year warranty. My guess is it's going to last longer than that. It's been lab tested. And here's the great thing about it. It's starting to get cold outside. They will reach a point where they can't put it on anymore this year. If you lock in your prices now, get your free evaluation from Darren, and you get locked in right now, they'll honor that price for the spring. So when they're back working in March, you're going to be right on the list, and you'll get your house done with Rhino Shield, and whatever's on the outside of it can be covered up pretty much by Rhino Shield. If it can't, Darren will be honest with you, but my guess is nothing. In your condo, your business, all of it can be treated with Rhino Shield, and it is beautifully durable. 877-25-RHINO, or go online right now. Tell them Marc Cox sent you, 877-25rhino.com.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 314-567-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Missouri Grit. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Big changes coming to the hemp industry because of the continuing resolution that was passed by Congress, signed by the president. There was some language in there that's going to severely clamp down on hemp production and hemp products across the country. We got Brian Riegel with us this morning. Brian's from out in Union, Missouri, and runs a company called You Are Lit Hemp Drinks. And he's also a dairy farmer, I understand. And Brian, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on this morning. I guess why don't we start off this way? First of all, tell us about your product, which is You Are Lit Hemp Drinks. What is it exactly?
So I've got 2 different type of lines. South Point Hemp is the main company that sells a lot of the edibles, the chocolates, the fruit chews.
Okay.
A lot more on the medical side. And one of my brands that I'm trying to develop is You Are Lit. More on the recreational side. So it's the You Are Lit is a 5 milligram THC hemp derived adult beverage, and it's a great alternative for people who are seeking that and not wanting the alcohol.
Yeah. So let's talk now about what these changes in this bill. I'm sure there were, as a member of the Missouri Hemp Board yourself, I'm sure there were already conversations ongoing about some sort of regulation in the industry. And then along comes Congress and just pretty much says a year from now we're shutting down everything.
Yeah. So as far as the Mohemp Trade Association, we're going into our 3rd year trying to pass a bill on the state level.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to organize that, get regulation there. And we never thought that we were going to get the rug pulled out from us on the Fed level at this level this quick, especially on something that was called a clean CR.
Yeah, and the Democrats were the ones pushing this, and people need to understand why they were pushing it, and that is that the marijuana industry sees you guys as direct competitors. They want you out. They want you closed down, and they were the ones funding many of these politicians through various lobby groups, correct, or am I incorrect? Because they were the ones who pushed this in order to reopen the government.
So on the state level, it's the licensed marijuana that's really trying to hamper us. The federal level part, we're finding out that it was a lot of alcohol money that incentivized Senator Mitch McConnell to put this in at the last minute. So
Wow.
We're getting hit from two different fields here.
Yeah. I'd say because you're competing. This is a non-alcoholic drink, right? But it has THC in it. Correct?
Yeah. So it kind of sits in that same spot. And
Right.
like what we're trying to do is a low level. So we want to be able to have alternatives at the restaurants and the bars where people can consume multiple. So similar to a beer, unlike kind of what the marijuana industry where a lot of people are going with high dose and just going home and zoning out.
Brian Riegel is our guest from Union, Missouri. And Brian, give my listeners an idea of how big an industry this is in Missouri.
So Missouri, it's kind of hard to figure out the numbers exactly because we don't really have any way of tracking that. But as a nation, we're talking about over 300,000 jobs. We're talking over a $28 billion market that's going to go away here in a little bit over 300 days.
Now, the threshold that the federal law talks about, 0.4 in any products with more than that, does that include most edibles, most drinks? Are they all going to exceed that level, or are they within that level?
So this 0.4 milligrams per package, the per package is really the killer of this. 95% of the products in my stores and also in the nation, they're gone. But it goes more than that because I'm also on the dairy farm. I've made fiber hemp. I've got round bales of hemp sitting on my dairy farm. Each one of those bales will be considered marijuana under this new law.
Oh, my gosh. So in the Farm Bill of 2019, there was that kind of loophole, right, where they addressed marijuana and put tons of regulations around it, but hemp was kind of left outside of that Farm Bill. That's why we've kind of had a 5-6 year unregulated where you all had to self-regulate, and good, responsible people like you were requiring 21, we're putting it only in liquor stores and things, but others were violating that, and that's kind of what brought this on, right?
So we hear that term loophole all the time about this. And the 2018 Farm Bill, the definition of hemp is anything that's 0.3 Delta 9 on a dry weight basis, and they call out isomers, salts, and derivatives thereof. So in the language, they already knew that innovation was going to move forward with this. Although they wouldn't have put in all of those extra words that most people don't even understand what that means. So the Farm Bill was designed for us to be innovative, design products, and move forward with it. And now they're pulling the rug out.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend, former Eureka Police Chief Mike Wiegand, and I know he was part of a police chiefs association that had gone to Jeff City to lobby for some regulation on like the Delta 9 product and stuff to make sure teenagers and kids weren't going to be able to get their hands on this stuff. Why was it taking so long to get something done at the state level in Missouri?
So that's been one of the most ironic journeys that I've been on. I didn't know much about politics until I got involved with this.
Yeah.
And, we constantly keep trying to bring a bill forward that regulates the main parts. Let's make sure that it doesn't look like candy. It doesn't look like Doritos. There's already laws for that. Like you can't imitate other foods and steal their identity.
Right.
But then we also 21 and over, like just some simple things. And every time we get up there, we seem to be squashed because there's another viewpoint that wants to kill our industry. And if we don't amend our bills to kill our industry, they kill our bills.
Wow.
So we never get regulation. It's the most ironic situation you would think.
Well, how can people reach out to you if they're interested in more information on this, Brian?
You can contact me directly at brian@urlitproducts.com.
Okay.
And I try, if somebody wants to help out or learn more about this, I try to get you connected with the right people. Some other things that we're doing is trying to make products so that we can do some local research in Missouri too. And all of this stuff's getting stifled.
Very good. Brian Riegel, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, best of luck with that. We're going to be back in just a minute.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
All right, let's take advantage of the fact that although we had a little bit of rain this week, it's nothing super heavy. You have an opportunity right now to get that driveway dried up, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. The driveway filling with water because of low spots, or the basement getting water dripping down the wall. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. We'll get this fall, this winter. Let my friend Matt Hayes get in there with Home Shield Foundation Repairs and get you straightened up. So come spring, you're not going to have to worry about the kids tripping over that sidewalk that's uneven, or you're not going to have to worry every time it rains that the basement's going to get mold and water in it again. You can have peace of mind. Just call him at 314-227-9636. A local family-owned company. Matt's going to be there personally to take care of this. And with the dry basement, he'll give you a lifetime guarantee. You can't beat that. Go online today. Find out more at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
I'm Dom Savino with your Money Now. It's another sign Americans are turning to cheaper options as the economy shows signs of distress. The parent company of retailers TJ Maxx and Marshalls beat sales estimates last quarter and raised its outlook for the rest of the year. One thing giving the discount stores a boost? Tariffs. They're jacking up the price even more at full-price stores, creating deeper discounts for the likes of TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Speaking of tariffs, Audi is still working on a response to tariffs that have been bad for the German car maker's business. Now it's weighing whether to develop an SUV specifically for the U.S. That American-only car would be built at a third-party plant in South Carolina. Audi's reportedly ditched the idea of building a plant here itself. A decision on that SUV will come by the end of the year. We are heading to the open on Wall Street, where they're hoping the losing streak will end today. Futures are mostly higher after 4 days of selling centered around the AI rally. That's your Money Now.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads this morning, we've had some issues out there, but of course, as the commute goes along, we're looking a little bit better. But we just had an accident reported. Boone's Crossing at Chesterfield Airport Road. There's an accident southbound 170 at Airport Road with a jam back through 270. And crews have been working with an accident westbound 70 at Lucas and Hunt. That's caused a delay. Now, eastbound traffic on 64. Slowing, really just approaching Clarkson through Big Bend. That's pockets. And westbound still lining up near Hampton, out through McCausland, and northbound 270. Still some slow pockets, Gravois up through Ladue Road, and a moderate volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. I'm Sue and Electrical and Plumbing. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Furnace funky?
Then make one call.
And Jerry Kelly will be there the very next day.
Call anytime, 8 to 8, 8 days a week.
And Jerry Kelly will fix your furnace or install a new one the very next day.
JerryKelly.com. All right, let's get that house in shape for the holidays. Call my friends at Zero Res right now. Tell them you want the November 97.1 FM special, and you're going to get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $139, $50 off air duct cleaning if you need that, and chances are you do. When's the last time you had that done at your house? Here's the great thing about Zero Res. No harsh chemicals, no soaps, a lot of stuff. They put that down on your carpet. A lot of these companies, they might rinse it, but they still don't get all that residue off there, and it's left sticking to your carpet, which can make it dirtier because it attracts dirt. It can stick on there easier afterwards. Don't put up with that. Go with Zero Res. They can Zero Resify just about any surface in your home, tile, carpet, upholstery. Plus, they can clean your air ducts, and you're going to feel so much better for it. Look at some of their 4.9 rated reviews on average on Google. Over 5,900 reviews, coming up on 6,000 reviews. You just can't beat that. So call them today. Here's the number, 314-474-2020. Easy to remember. Or you can go online to ZeroResSTL.com.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Window specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction, 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation, or the website bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day. Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Hey guys, Sig Glock and Colt here from Tactical in St. Peter's. Have you ever dreamt of owning a belt-fed weapon system? Stop in today and ask about the Fight Light 5.56 or Freedom Ordnance 9mm belt-fed. It'll go Burt, Tactical Cave Springs in St. Peter's.
First responders get in the ring for the 38th Budweiser Guns and Hoses presented by Stiefel. It's the biggest holiday party of the year, the night before Thanksgiving at Enterprise Center. Get your tickets now at STLGunsandHoses.com. It's go time.
Setting goals for your retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, listen to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You can also visit YourMoneyMattersSTL.com for more details.
Fox News National, St. Louis Local, 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, if you couldn't get X to load yesterday, guess what? They claim we're out of the woods on that, but I don't know. I think what happened is pretty frightening, that it shut down so many different websites and industries yesterday, and they're claiming it was all just because of a glitch.
Internal glitch.
I mean,
at the front door. Apparently it's a safety platform that most of the internet operates on, as we quickly learned, that just helps filter good and bad stuff and keeps the crazy stuff out and the viruses out. Well, it crashed yesterday, which brought down a lot of businesses and a lot of online chat, including here, our station was impacted.
It was, absolutely. Well, at least it didn't stop people from watching the Big Money Show with Taylor Riggs. Taylor's back with us right now. How are you, my friend?
I'm well. Always so great to see you. Did you try unplugging and replugging?
Just reboot.
Exactly. We had Eben Brown on earlier from Fox News Radio, and he said you got to think of this. Most people don't even know it's there, but he goes, it's like if you go to your local store and they've got an automatic door, and the door opens when you walk up and it closes, and you don't ever think about who made the door, but that's sort of what this was yesterday, right? That's what this business does.
That's a good analogy. And, what's interesting is I think this one really interesting take that I read about this just brings up all the risks of, if we go really, really serious for a minute, the vulnerability of our power grid. Of if we want hackers to come in, imagine if they were to shut down our pipeline, which, by the way, that has happened before, right?
Yes,
with the Colonial Pipeline, with our power grid, with our water system. Imagine our street lights. What if those were hacked and everything was red or green? And so you can really quickly sort of go down this rabbit hole of just how vulnerable we can be. Now, let's hope that, AI, this is going to be the good and the bad. AI is going to make us more productive and is going to sort of help sniff out some of these. But there's also been reports earlier this week that China was using our own AI against us. AI can now hack us. And that's going to be way faster than the tools that we have to stop the hackers if it is coming from AI. So this is sort of this sciencey, spooky out there, but it could actually really happen. So this is going to be sort of a good use case of how we can stay ahead of the game. How do we protect ourselves and protect businesses most of all?
Is that stock down this morning for that company yesterday?
It was yesterday because it happened. It actually, on a very serious note, it was.
I'll bet.
Accidents like these take a hit for the business. So they are down. I have, again, about 0.7%, 0.9%. But yesterday, it indeed, was down because this impacts the way people view safety and business models.
And the last 4 days have just taken a beating on Wall Street. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts of what the key indicators? Some say it is the AI world and moving too fast, too quick on some things, and of course China releasing that. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are stocks for the long run. Healthy pullbacks like these are very good. We have pretty much a straight line up to the right since April. We need healthy pullbacks. So the S&P 500 is down about 4 or 5% from its recent high. 10% is a classic correction. 20% would be a bear market. We're nowhere near there. The Mag 7, though, is down about 7-8%. So you're getting close to Mag 7, all the big tech stocks being in correction territory. I am a Pollyanna. I think this is good and healthy for the market. The market should not go straight up forever. It is good that you get pullbacks if you're a long-term investor like me. I start to use these as buying opportunities, and it is sane and rational for people to be questioning what is a company worth. So I like moments like these. I think pullbacks are healthy, but I also think in the long run, stocks will go up. I do not think that AI trade is over. I don't think that these companies are anywhere near companies like the .com bubble where you were just IPOing and putting .com after your name and you were going through the roof. I think these are proven business models with revenue, with profit, with free cash flow. We're going to get the biggie NVIDIA today.
Yeah.
We're questioning how much we're all spending on this, right? So if I'm spending $200 billion on AI, and that's in my world, we call it CapEx, your capital expenditures, is that going to pay off? Is that going to lead to profit down the road? I think that's the big question in the market right now. My view in the long run, yes, because AI is the fourth industrial revolution, and it's changing the way we all think and spend money on this stuff. But is it going to take a couple days or a couple weeks for us to shake out and figure out where the bottom is? Yes, probably.
Yeah. Taylor Riggs, our guest from the Big Money Show. I saw that a couple of reports about Target's earnings and that some people thinking they may have hit bottom here. Is this sort of a canary in the coal mine for like Black Friday and all this stuff that's coming up? Are you worried about that at all?
I am Target and TJ Maxx are good stories today. TJ Maxx, which I love a good deal and a good discount, right? They are raising their annual forecast because they see consumers coming in and wanting to find deals.
Yes.
That's telling me that a low-income consumer, a medium-income consumer feels pressured and is still very much looking for deals. Target is sort of a one-off. I think Target has had inventory issues. They've had political issues that still haven't fixed when they were putting Tux swimwear and the LGBT friendly stuff right at the front of the store next to my daughter's clothing, which as a mom presents huge problems for me. That's sort of a one-off. I would look at the companies like a TJ Maxx where they don't have sort of those issues that Target has, but it is telling you that the consumer is very, very much pressured and that affordability is top of mind for this country.
It's good stuff.
It
Taylor,
is great stuff.
Always great insight. We appreciate you. We'll be tuning in today on, to the Big Money Show, noon to 1 o'clock Central. Thank you.
Thanks always.
You bet. Isn't she great?
She is great, man.
Honestly.
Very knowledgeable.
If you weren't in love with her already, you hear her say things like that as a mom. It bothered me that they had to put the LGBTQ and the swimsuits with extra material right next to my daughter's clothes in the front of the store.
What's that, Dad?
I'm sorry.
What's that, Dad?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, a conversation you don't need to have.
Why do you have to
with your
explain
little
that?
Daughter. Yeah.
Snoop got in trouble for that. Did you hear that? They fired him from some job he had. Snoop Dogg. He was going to host some New Year's Eve concert, and because he went on some podcast and said that he was mad at Disney because he took his grandkid to a movie, and the grandkid was asking him why Tommy had two mommies, and he didn't feel like he should have to explain that to his grandson in a movie theater. And the reaction from the left was immediately negative against him, and they fired him from some New Year's Eve gig he had.
Man.
Isn't that something?
It is nuts.
Oh, I know. The left
Speaking
is
of nuts,
vicious, baby.
Speaking of vicious and nuts, and to show you how crazy, off base, and stupid the left can be sometimes, did you hear about the ICE vehicle that got firebombed in Seattle?
No.
It was Ice Cube's tour bus. And
you're kidding me.
They thought it was an ICE vehicle, and they firebombed it. I kid you not. Yeah, and so caused all kinds of damage. That's the intelligence level that we are working with here, because it said big, huge on the side of it, Ice Cube. And I don't know if they thought it was like a cube. Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't fix stupid. There's no doubt about that. All right, quick break here. When we come back, we're going to let Dan step up on the soapbox on this senior tax freeze and the complaints by the school districts.
Yes.
About how much money they're going to lose of your tax money when this happens. We'll be right back.
I am going to get on a rant.
From the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
On the roads, we still have a little bit of volume out there on westbound 6440. It's Hampton out through 170. And westbound 70 is still some slow-moving traffic headed for Jennings Station Road. Eastbound is slow in that area as well. We had an earlier accident around that area as well. So just watch out. Now, southbound 170, still a slow go at 64. Eastbound 6440. Slowing at Wing Haven, a little bit at Clarkson, and then in pockets east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. 55 northbound looks good now. Northbound 270 hasn't thinned out, but it's just moderate volume between Gravois and Ladue roads. And we look fine if you're headed in from Illinois on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report is brought to you by my friends at the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. Most people spend decades saving for retirement. Now, I really do think that's most of it. But a lot of us do not know how to turn those savings into lasting income. This is where you need professionals to help you. And that's where financial and tax architects come in. Not only will they teach you about how things work, they do a class called Retirement Planning 101. It's 2.5 hours. It's no cost. It's a little bit eye-opening. And they take you through everything. Here's how to deal with taxes in retirement. Here's how to deal with Social Security. Let's make sure your money can last. And then you can sit down with them, show them everything you've got, and together you can come up with a plan that you can both rely on that will take you through retirement. So give them a call today, 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101. Go to a class and start feeling better about retirement.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. Join us on Monday, November 24th at Helen Fitzgerald, starting at 3 for the official Guns N' Hoses weigh-in. You could win tickets, meet the fighters, and hang out with us. Details at 971talk.com/events.
Have you set your appointment up yet to have your furnace checked to make sure you are good and ready to go for this winter? It's really, really a great idea to have it done for your own peace of mind and for your safety also. Definitely check your furnace before you use it. You can go to my website. It's bartinman.com, and we'll have pictures up of what we've seen and what we've seen and found that the homeowners had no clue that this danger existed. Most have no idea what I'm talking about now, but if you went to the website, if you're not going to have me come out or another company come out and check, then you'll know what to look for on your furnace and hot water heater also. So my number, again, it's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest number, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your holiday with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. For your inner child and your grown-up cravings, the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it, Dan.
Here we go.
Just takes a minute to build up to it. Here we go. Little Edward Van Halen for you this morning. See? The drum intro in this, Alex just wore this out.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Is that a little
he absolutely did.
hot
Here
for
it is.
teacher?
It is hot for teacher.
Is that what
I thought it would be fitting for this segment to get you fired up on the property tax freeze.
I do not need Van Halen to get fired up about this one.
Nice.
Dude. So if you're just tuning in, wondering what's had my blood boiling all day, the more I read into these articles, and I've gone to several media sources to try to get exactly what the problem is that the school districts have with the senior freeze. Okay, well, you're taking money out of our pocket. They actually are claiming, and this is what the Post-Dispatch actually reported. They say area school districts will forego nearly $20 million in the first year of the St. Louis County senior freeze on property tax. Let me start with that number. First of all, you don't forego anything. You never had it to start with. All right, this was an increase.
A planned increase.
Yeah. They're basically saying, oh, we're not going to get that $20 million. Well, wait a minute. If my property taxes and the property taxes on the 80,000 seniors who own homes in St. Louis County and who applied for this tax credit, if their taxes are going up so much because the value of their home is increasing and people are, what about the other 220,000 people in that same tax base, in that same county, who's also seeing that same tax increase, who, oh, by the way, have to pay it? So these school districts are still going to see increases to their budgets because all those other 220,000 homeowners
their prices have gone up.
They have
absolutely.
to go up.
Yeah.
So the senior who's on a fixed income in many cases, they're on either a retirement plan or on Social Security, they're getting their, and oh, by the way, they've only been paying into your damn schools for 45 years, right? As homeowners. So they have made their contribution in my eyes, and let's give them a break so that they can live on a fixed income and enjoy their retirement years. Number two, okay, they go on to talk about the reasons why they're grappling with their budget shortfalls. The number one thing that they talk about is declining enrollment. Stop a minute. You're having declining enrollment, but you need more money for less kids? Let's go there. Why do you need more money if your enrollment in the Parkway School Districts are forecasting a loss of over 1,000 kids in the next 5 years?
In Rockwood, it's down to like 11% over the past 7 or 8 years.
Right. So if you have fewer kids, shouldn't you be able to work on a smaller budget?
Wouldn't you think?
I mean, it's common sense. Is if I have fewer people to educate, why wouldn't my budget come down, not go up? You don't need. And oh, by the way, the runaway taxation of property taxes is outrageous. And it thank God seniors are getting some relief from it. But when you look over the past 20 years, what St. Louis County property taxes in municipality after municipality, they've escalated in some cases 200% in 20 years. We've all seen it, right? We've seen when my parents had bought their first house in St. Louis, it was maybe a $100,000 home. They were paying less than $2,000 a year, right? Today, that same house, which would be valued at maybe $2.5, is paying $5,000-$6,000. If you're in a $300,000 home, you're paying $10,000.
Yep.
Right. So
let's fix the problem.
Right.
No school needs anything other than a principal and an assistant principal. Or a superintendent and one assistant superintendent in case that one drops dead.
Right.
All the layers of administration they've added in these districts is ridiculous.
Outrageous. And the number of administrators added versus number of teachers added.
That's how you fix that problem.
It's nuts.
I'm with you.
Man.
I'm with you. But that does bring us back to maybe some more Van Halen. Are we up over here? Can you turn me up? Is it a little more Van Halen up here? What don't you think? Because that'll always cheer me up any day of the week. Yeah, thank you, Dave. A little David Lee Roth, a little Van Halen for you. All right, remember to thank you, Dan, for that very well done segment.
Rant.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. I feel
remember
better.
to buy tickets in the Responder Rescue ATF raffle. Text the word responder to 33100 for your chance to win. I got to sell a lot more tickets between now and next Wednesday. Please, please, please buy some of your tickets today. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health and Wellness.
Exercise improves